gamers, and welcome to episode 320 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
Man, March Madness has started. It's been a year, 2 years, Daniel. 2 years, because COVID stopped the madness last year. We only had like a few of the smaller leagues had played some March Madness games, but maybe somebody won championship. I'm not sure. If anybody's won like their own conference championship, but basically it was canceled. But now we're back. The Madness is back. But unfortunately, there's some schools are getting canceled though.
Oh, really?
You got Duke, they got had to forfeit because of COVID. They were one of the first schools.
Oh, man.
Since this tournament started. Then we had a smaller school, which North Carolina A&T, I want to say. I don't think it was Central. It's either Central or A&T. I forget which one. Let me look it up. I want to get it right.
They should just have like a COVID losers bracket, and then whoever wins that bracket then comes back in to face whoever won the regular bracket in 2 weeks.
North Carolina A&T had to pull out because of COVID, and they were like number one in that conference, so that's kind of sad.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Well, that is sad. And well, I only reason it's kind of sad is because my dad's alma mater, Norfolk State, had to play them, and now they get to go to the championship, and they didn't have to play them. Undeserved. They're going to play Morgan State. So it's a local school, Morgan State, that's in Baltimore, playing against some of my family members. I've got quite a few family members that graduated from there, Norfolk State.
Oh, nice.
They're going to be playing in the championship. So I'll probably watch that. I think it starts at 1:00. I'll probably put that on. I think another big school, Virginia also has to leave, and they're number one in the ACC. Let me see. Yes. Virginia Cavaliers for the ACC is out because of COVID. So that just really, see, Duke being gone, well, Duke wasn't doing good this year. So it was like the chance of them getting to the tournament was that they would have to win the whole thing to get in, which some people really didn't think they were going to do. So it didn't hurt that much, them getting put out. I mean, it hurt, of course, the kids, you don't get that chance. But yeah, like the overall scope of it, it's like, okay, Duke was really doing great that year, so it's not that bad. But now you have the number one team in the ACC go out. Now it really just taints it to me. I mean, it's no fault of the kids who are still in it, but it's just that, teams not being there just because of COVID, it's just like, what are we doing? And I'm wondering, when we get to the main tournament, it's like you gotta either you hope the other
final game's not gonna happen.
Like somebody going to forfeit and be like, "Oh, you're champions because they can't play."
100%.
Or you get to go next round because your team didn't play, or you may be the unlucky team that does have COVID. It's like, oh, god damn it!
I'm the underdogs. I'm sending people over to that school with COVID, Dominic. Biological warfare.
Yeah, exactly.
I will get that championship however I need to.
It's such a mess to the point where, man, maybe Coach K was right. We shouldn't even play this year, which, I mean, I kind of said that from the beginning, that either you do some way, you do a bubble, or you don't have the traditional way of playing these games. You keep it localized. You keep it just...
You played in 2K21.
Yeah. But I mean, look, it's like I want these games to happen. I want these kids to have it. I mean, they are letting seniors come back next year, so that's good.
Okay.
Even though, I mean, it's still, time doesn't stop really, because what about the freshmen who come in? I mean, I guess that's the problem. But I mean, you gotta deal with it, I guess. And so they're letting the seniors come back, but it's just that. I mean, it's so hard because I feel like these guys, they want to play, and I feel for them. I just wish there was a better way to do this, and it just sucks that this happened. I mean, I guess you just can't do nothing about it. This pandemic. I mean, we got it here. It just sucks. It happens at this point though, when there's like things are on the line.
Right.
That, this team has to forfeit now. It's because you can't do the NBA. The NBA, because they are professional, so they can work around the schedule. Say, hell no, we will push things back. Yeah. Because it's professional sports. College, you got you got a certain amount of time to do things. So, yeah, that sucks. Maryland. Well, the teams I root for, is Maryland. I root for all the area teams. Georgetown, which is still in it. Georgetown's in the championship. Maryland lost to Michigan, who's the number one team in the Big Ten. So, they're number one in the Big Ten, but technically they're not the best. They might not be the best team in the Big Ten. It might be Illinois, but I don't know. But Maryland lost to them. The Maryland girls are still in it, though. I believe, I don't know if this is the championship or what, but they're still in it. And Loyola, Maryland, they are in the championship. They play tomorrow. They upset their number one seed. They beat Navy was number one, and they beat Navy. And then they beat Army, and now they're playing Colgate.
When do they play Space
toothpaste
Force?
School. I always call Colgate toothpaste school. That's what Colgate. And maybe that's what I gotta look that up. Isn't it spelled the same? I gotta look it up and say, hey, maybe the guy went to Colgate. Yeah. Or that was the same guy. He invented toothpaste and then made a university. Anyway, was there another local school that I miss? I think that's everybody. But I did say Morgan State. But yeah. So other than that, I mean, it's been fun to watch though. But yeah, you see where COVID is still out there, people. Even though we're near the end, people, as they say, in the pandemic.
Here's the hoping.
But the virus is still there, even though places are open 50%. I mean, here we just got it, 50% capacity here in Maryland. We still ain't no Texas though. I mean, where everything's just open.
Yeah.
But though I wonder, but for sports though, like in stadiums, because that's separate. Like, are they gonna let it be just
Orioles? They're doing 25%. They announced.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, of course, all the jokes were that the Orioles haven't seen 25% capacity in like 6 years.
Oh yeah, that is true. But I was wondering, like, you go to a city where they have a whole lot of fans, and then you go to a place where you're slow. It's just like it's so like weird about these rules because it's not being consistent, because the virus is technically still out there and not everybody has the vaccine, got vaccinated yet. So it's weird with all this stuff happening. It's been weird times. It's been weird times, man.
Yeah.
All right. That's really it for news. Oh yeah, Tom Brady is coming back for another fucking year.
The GOAT is back, Dominic.
Yeah,
you should never let him prove that he could still
you don't call him the
Dominic.
GOAT. You don't call him the GOAT. You're a fair weather. You're not even a fair weather fan.
Nope.
You get the hell out of here.
Not even a fan. This is what happens when you let him fucking prove that he can still do it at that age, Dominic. He thinks he can. He can continue to do it.
I know. They continue writing these scripts for him, don't they?
Yeah.
He writing these scripts for him to win. The sons of bitches. Oh man.
Drag Gronk back with him every year too.
That's all. Yeah, I guess Gronk. He's still a free agent. Yeah, I wonder if he'll come back. I mean, that T-Mobile commercial, that is a funny commercial. That is a funny commercial. Damn. Why can't he just let other people win? How can he just go away? I just want to go away.
Because if he goes away now, Dominic will never know if he can beat whatever elite young quarterback is coming up.
Like, all you have to do is get somebody from practice squad and say, look, man, we give you like somebody under the table. It's like 14 mil or something. Go break his legs. Go at those legs.
We doing, what is that gate? What was the gate? Bounty Gate?
Oh, yeah, it was, what was it called? Bounty Gate. Yeah, Bounty Gate. Yeah, exactly. You gotta bring that back. You gotta bring that bounty gate back. See, but he wouldn't last to this age. We still had that thing going on. Shit. All right. What else I got? It's other sports stuff, but I wouldn't get too much into it. Because we've been off for a week. Here, take some personal stuff. So we got some few things we missed. Few things we missed. So let's get down to it. So I guess we get to what we've been watching. So, my fault. Real quick, All-Star game, basketball.
Okay.
Bradley Beal was in there. His team lost though because the Durant team didn't even have Durant up there because Durant's injured, and they didn't have Joel Embiid because he had COVID at the time.
Oh boy.
So I don't know if he had COVID, but they had to protect or like COVID tracing. I don't know, but something happened, and so they had two great players out and their bigs, while LeBron had shooters and bigs, and it was just a one-sided affair. I just watched half of the game, maybe. There was a dunk contest because I was at halftime. It was boring, but I mean, I never liked the dunk contests really since I was a kid, so this is not my thing. I missed the 3-point contest. Steph Curry won. He came back and took his championship because he couldn't play last year because he was injured. Mm-hmm. That happened before the game, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this was received, really, this All-Star game. But I know people were just tossing them threes like crazy, what I was seeing, man. They were just shooting threes. It was like a 3-point shooting contest out there. It was just ridiculous. Yeah. But yeah, that's the All-Star game. But yeah, whatever. All right. I guess we get into what we've been watching. So besides the sports stuff I was watching, I guess I'll talk about South Park because we both finished watching WandaVision, I'm assuming. So, yeah, we did. I mean, we talked about it before. So South Park, they had their special, their vaccination special.
Oh, boy.
So they had the pandemic special. Now they get the vaccination special. It was pretty good. It was all right. It was okay. I think I liked the pandemic special better. Mm-hmm. But this Mr. Garrison is back as normal Mr. Garrison.
Okay.
And it looks like he might even have the puppet with him again as the ending goes. Yeah.
Mr.
I won't spoil too much, but they also, I like how they reference the vaccinations like it's a club. Like people just wait in line to get in, but all the old people can get in. And they're all like, yeah, I'm 79 bitches. So like old lady said or something like that. Also, what else happened? They had a thing with Anon. Like the Q ain't like they got these little kids part of it too. They call them like cuties.
Oh
with the
boy.
Q because Q. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, it was an okay episode. It had some funny moments in there. So what did you watch besides WandaVision?
I watched the first episode of Young Rock. I guess probably like right after we recorded last time. It was kind of what you would expect out of one of those kind of sitcom-y shows. It follows a timeline that I didn't necessarily expect, though, because I was telling you, like, it has like a couple of scenes of him as a young kid and hanging out with his dad and like a whole bunch of old wrestlers. You know, you see a guy playing Andre the Giant and Iron Sheik and stuff like that. They're playing cards and whatnot, going to the bar. And then it jumps to like him in college and his father like lying to the other students, kind of letting them know that, oh, he's got a Wheaties deal and stuff like that. So then he has to like deal with that because I guess his dad is kind of not around. Also kind of a guy that's just inflating his ego and telling a whole bunch of lies and then saying, you know, oh, you gotta kind of play up to it, you know, fake it till you make it, basically. But yeah, I kind of expected it to be more like young Sheldon, where it's, you know, a whole bunch of time with him as a young kid. But I wonder, I'll check out another episode and see if it's just maybe they're jumping around in the timeline, whatever story they want to tell. Because I was telling you that the premise of it is basically The Rock is reliving stories from his past because he's being interviewed because he's running for president. So that seemed like it was a weird direction to go with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we'll see how that goes.
How does she feel about young Rock?
She loves The Rock. Less a fan of young Rock, as you can tell from her just licking my shirt, apparently. Are you done? Okay. So yeah, it's one of those shows. Basically, it fits into the young Sheldon, Big Bang Theory, two broke girls, 2.5 Men is the one I was trying to think of. Actually, that kind of mold, generic funny comedy stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was fine from the first episode I saw. It was fun seeing, these guys playing the older wrestlers. I think they did a good job casting those guys. Most of them look kind of similar. You get the idea of who they're supposed to be. They also just, announce who they're supposed to be. So some of the guys who don't necessarily look like them, they're just like, hey, this is the Iron Sheik. You know him. So yeah, there was that. Trying to think if there's anything else that I've watched. I think that's basically been it since last we talked, besides WandaVision.
Okay, so I guess WandaVision. So it's the series is over. So how do you feel about it overall?
I think overall I enjoyed it quite a bit. I liked the stuff at the beginning. Maybe not necessarily just for it being what it was, but enjoying it for what it was, but also with the anticipation that there would be more to it than just the kind of old sitcom-y stuff. Like, I appreciated that from a nostalgia standpoint, just because I did used to watch that stuff on Nick at Night and whatnot, and I enjoyed it when I was younger. But if they had just done like a whole season of that stuff, I probably would have got tired of it relatively quickly. But it does eventually get down to it. 4 episodes in, basically 4 or 5.
Yeah. 4.
So once that stuff all kicked off, I was pretty much all in on it. I think overall it was very good. I enjoyed it. Looking forward to more with Wanda now. They definitely gave her more character than she's had in any of these previous appearances. So
yeah, they did.
I'm glad to see them expand it. This gives me hope for what they're going to do with like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, giving these characters that appear in the other movies and maybe have decent sized roles, but haven't really been extensively explored, and letting them tell their own stories. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it overall. Like I said before, it felt slow, but yeah, once it get to that 4 episode thing, speed up, it becomes more intriguing, and I become more invested in it. And the characterization of Wanda, I like that. I mean, that we more explore her, because she's like one of the most powerful hero/villains in the comics, because she goes in between both, really. And like, we didn't really delve into her enough in the movies. I mean, it's kind of hard to. I mean, you only have but so much time, and so to explore her was, it's like, you giving her more like some more meat, basically, like you gave her like something so people can really understand what she is, like what she can do. So, which, I mean, but you also understand that why she wasn't able to do even more than what she did, because like, if you do comics, you're like, man, she's not that powerful in the movies compared to she is in the comics. But now you know that, like, oh, she was still learning. She didn't really understand who she really was or what she was. So, I mean, getting to a little bit of spoilers now. Now I have I feel like that villain they put in Hagatha, which is, I mean, it is from the comics too, but they kind of snuck her in there. Which that's fine if it was that she was the one that was controlling Wanda or did something to Wanda to make that whole town, take over that whole town or something. I was like, okay, so she was doing it. But no, Wanda did that on her own. And Hagatha was just there, I guess, because she wanted to take her powers, because she was supposedly the Scarlet Witch. Like, Wanda was the Scarlet Witch that was in, I guess, the stories foretold or something.
Shit, exactly. Yeah.
That's to stop that she was going to destroy the world or whatever, or something like that. So I'm like, but she wants to take her powers, but she also wants to be powerful herself. So it wasn't like she wanted to be a hero or nothing, Hagatha.
Right.
She was a bad guy too. So it kind of make it so that you're more, okay, like, Wanda's the good guy. Now we're on her side. But really, it's like, no, Wanda's the bad guy here. She did this. Now, I mean, I'm sorry that she felt bad about Vision. Like, she felt so emotional and she couldn't find a way to cope with her emotions over her loss.
Yeah.
But the problem is that she's so powerful and she got all these powers that that's bad. I mean, because that she can't cope with that, and she did this. And I mean, yes, yeah, there are places for people like that, you know, the mental institution. So, and I'm sure in this world they got a powerful bad guy jail, you know,
yeah, the arc or whatever it is.
Yeah, you that's where she has to go. I don't like how they really did a little cop out there, but they did a little cop out with her. Oh, like she saved these people from Hagatha and shit like that. And then have it like Monica Rambeau, who now has powers, which is cool that you see that. I kind of figured that was going to happen when I saw, because like when I saw that who Monica Rambeau was in the comics, I was like, okay, something's going to happen. And when that lady said, oh, when you went through that dimension or whatever, the Wanda cube or whatever.
Yeah, the hex.
It changed your cells or something. Like it's like rewriting you. I said, okay, yeah, it's gonna rewrite her till she has some powers. So she her saying that, like, basically letting her go, like not trying to go after her, saying, because I understand, because I think if I had your powers, I would have done the same thing. That's not a good excuse at all to let someone go. I'm like,
not once you know what she's been doing to all these people. I mean, like, you can see that at the beginning where she's sympathizing with her and against the shield or the sword guy because, like, oh, he's, you know, trying to kill Wanda or whatever. But once you realize what's actually happening there, that she's basically imprisoned these people in their own minds and controlling them like puppets. Like, that's, you got to do something about her. I don't know that you put a bullet in her head, but you got to do something.
I mean, that's what it should have been, is like, I don't want to kill her, like something like that, but we can help her. Like, we can help her, and you take her somewhere. Like, to trust, like, realistically, how can I trust someone like that? Like, oh, she's okay now. Yeah. That is,
she had a mental lapse, but everything's all right now.
Yeah. I was like, well, she might can have another one. Like, what makes me just trust her now? It's like, I don't know, man. That's a little, I mean, it's comic booky, so you just accept it, but it's like, come on, you could have done something better with that.
Yeah.
But you could have make it that you were trying to say, I got to bring you in, and she stops you and she gets away. That's what I was thinking was going to happen. Mm-hmm. But I mean, we'll see what happens with the story as it continues. I do like what they do with Monica. I mean, it looks like she's talked to somebody, look like you saw the scroll.
Yeah.
And telling her, what did it say exactly? Because I don't remember. I haven't seen it.
It was basically like, I have a friend that wants to talk to you, and then she pointed up at the sky.
Oh, so it's probably Captain Marvel, probably.
Or probably Nick Fury.
Or no, Sword, right? It was a Sword. Oh, Is Nick Fury part of S.W.O.R.D.?
Well, at the end of Far From Home, you see him on the spaceship with all the Skrulls, and I don't remember if there were S.W.O.R.D. logos or not, but I feel like there were, or people were just, basically saying that that's what it was from the comics.
You know, I still haven't seen that ending.
Oh, no?
Nah.
Okay.
Because I didn't stay in the theaters to watch it, and I always said, I was like, I'll just check it out. I just never did it. I never did it.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally just like him sitting in front of a screen and like just shorts and a t-shirt, and then he gets up and he walks through a spaceship that has Skrulls on it. It's not anything that you're missing out on by not having seen it, really.
But yeah, so they got that continuing probably in another show or movie or whatever they're doing now.
Yeah, they have the Secret Invasion thing announced for Disney Plus, which sounds like it's Nick Fury's show. So if she shows up on there, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Then you have Wanda looking at what's that book called? Like the
Dark Hold.
The Dark Hold.
Which is funny because that was a part of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. when they had all the Ghost Rider stuff happening. And I don't know, it just seems like basically we're erasing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. from that timeline too, which they pretty effectively did once all the Hydra stuff happened anyway. Like once Winter Soldier happened, and definitely like the Snap stuff. I think at that point they were time traveling and whatnot, so it wasn't like, oh no, Coulson got snapped away or something like that. So even though that was supposed to be the one that was like part of the continuity, the only show that they had, they still ended up kind of distancing themselves from the actual Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, okay. But I just don't know what she's doing with that book exactly. But you hear like her kids saying help, and I'm thinking like, what happened?
Yeah. I mean, to me, it seems like she's just studying it to learn more about her powers, basically, I guess. Yeah. Didn't seem like that book had a lot of words in it, though. Just a lot of pictures.
It really didn't.
I don't know how long it takes you to get through that thing.
Yeah, it didn't seem that thick of a book. I say like the Bibles fucking had more pages in that book. What the hell?
It might just be that like we can't read the words, Dominic. Only witches and wizards.
Harry Potter's bigger than that book.
That's where she learned all her wizarding magic from. Yeah. I think you're definitely right about Agatha though. Like even though they had that nice little musical where it's like, oh, it was Agatha all along. It's like, but in reality, she didn't really do that much. In the terms of like terrible things, she was enabling her in some ways because she wanted to see like how far her powers could go.
Yeah.
Because she wanted to then steal them. But yeah, she never really like, she wasn't the one attacking people. She maybe
the only
killed
thing I know she
dog.
She killed somebody back in Salem times, which I don't give a damn.
Yeah, she killed her mother.
Me personally.
She sucked up her powers or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a statute of limitations, though. She's,
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. And then, honestly, like the way that ends with her basically trapping Agatha there, it's almost like, hey, here's an additional, like, vengeful thing that the Scarlet Witch is doing that is kind of shitty, She didn't, I mean, I guess you could say that that's like her own way of putting her in prison, but that's like,
but why don't she get to go to prison
then? Why does she get to, choose how she gets punished? So,
yeah, exactly. Well, so why don't, it
definitely feels like it's setting up for her to come back in some way, shape, or form, whether it be like what I'm hearing in the comics of her being like a mentor almost, or, at a certain point, maybe Wanda is like, I've learned all I can from the Darkhold. I've gotten as strong as I feel like I can, but I feel like Agatha could help me get that much stronger to the point, so she comes back and tries to learn something from her, but also control her, because I'm more powerful than you now. You can't really do anything to me, but you can still teach me some stuff.
Here's the thing with Wanda. What's her goal?
That's a good question, because honestly, like I thought we would get to a point where when she was enclosing the hex, I thought maybe she would just shrink it down to just the house. So she has this house that her and Vision and the kids
That's what
can
I thought
live
too.
in. And
That's what I thought too.
Whatever, right? And then, maybe somebody comes and bothers her because she's still fucking around with stuff that she shouldn't. But yeah, because she's come to the acceptance that Vision is gone, sort of. And of course, we didn't mention it, but there's White Vision out there doing whatever.
Yeah. What's going on with White Vision?
Whatever he's doing. And whether he's actual Vision now or whatever. And and at the end you hear her kids. So do her kids still exist? Or are we going to go the comic book route where the kids did technically exist because they were manifestations based on Mephisto's limbs or something crazy like that? I know a lot of people online were speculating that Mephisto would be a part of WandaVision.
Explain this for people who don't know what Mephisto's is.
Mephisto is basically the devil in Marvel, and he does devilly things. He grants. He basically what is the word I'm looking for here? Not grants wishes, but he makes deals, I guess. So it's I think the idea behind that whole thing was that some superhero or super being had lost their limbs, and he made a deal with Mephisto that he was going to get Mephisto's limbs, and then Wanda at the same time was trying to generate kids or whatever. And then it sounds almost like in this show where she has to actually take something from somebody. So she's using the people in town's bodies as receptacles for her thoughts. She basically used Mephisto's limbs that were being transferred over to this other person, snatched him out of air basically, and was here's the matter that I'm going to use to turn my kids into real things. I don't know, Dominic. It's comic books, and they're extremely weird.
So what's the difference between him and
Loki?
Dormammu?
Oh, okay. Dormammu, I don't know, honestly. I'm not that familiar with Dormammu outside of what he was in the movie, the Doctor Strange movie, and seeing him in Marvel versus Capcom or whatever.
And then you have I forgot that one where it's an X-Men, the Dream Man, Professor Xavier has a hard time with him.
I'm not sure.
Oh my God, what is his name? You used to fight him in one of those X-Men Legends games too. It's he's in the psychic realm, something like that. Hold up, now I gotta look him up, man. Now the Shadow King. Shadow King.
I know nothing about the Shadow King.
Oh man, I mean I've seen the X-Men episode a billion times. But yeah, he's almost like a devil thing. It's a fictional supervillain in America. The character is particularly associated with the X-Men family of comics. His nemesis is X-Men's Professor Xavier. Let me see what else he does. Also, Farouk was a human mutant from Egypt who uses telepathic abilities for evil, taking the alias Shadow King. Okay, so he's just a real evil mutant. He has a lot of he's a strong psychic. Yeah, he always seemed really devilish to me. Yeah, that's all these guys.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are similar. But yeah, but why so the people speculate that Quicksilver in the show was Mephisto?
I don't know if it was that or if, a lot of people were just speculating that Quicksilver was Quicksilver, right? Quicksilver from the Fox universe, and they were doing multiverse stuff because the next Doctor Strange movie that Wanda is involved in is the Multiverse of Madness. So they were, just saying oh, this is how they get the X-Men in there. Marvel definitely used that to like bait and switch people, but I don't know. For me, I don't really want them to use the Fox mutant stuff, even though, I mean, Quicksilver was probably one of the better things out of those movies. But I just don't really want them to tie into that, because even like when First Class came out, and then it was like, okay, you're going to have like Hugh Jackman in there, whatever, do a cameo. That's fun. But then when they did like Days of Future Past and they really brought back like everybody and tied it into those movies and like X-Men The Last Stand and stuff. And it's like, I didn't want them to do this. I wanted it to be a fresh new look at this stuff. And that's really what I want Marvel to do, is just kind of just start new, be a fresh new thing. And let this be like a fun little wink and nod kind of thing, right? Like, we as the audience obviously know that guy played a Quicksilver at some point, but Wanda doesn't know him from anybody else, right? It's just, that's the joke is, hey, they recast Pietro. And I don't know if they were ever speculating that he was Mephisto necessarily, or if Mephisto was just kind of in the background playing games. A lot of it is just people putting a lot of speculation into it. Like in the Loki trailer, there's a glass window that has like a very devil looking figure, and people are like, oh, well, that's, obviously Mephisto that it's referencing, and, all this magic stuff. And in the comic books, how much Mephisto ties in with Wanda and the origin of her children and stuff. I think a lot of people were just putting all of these pieces that weren't even necessarily there together, and creating a lot of speculation that they then were disappointed with. I saw a lot of people complaining about that not being a thing, Quicksilver not being a thing. What was the other one? There was something else that people were just like, oh, I can't believe. When Monica says, oh, I've got a friend who's like a something engineer or something, space physics engineer, something, which I guess is what Reed Richards is, and like people being disappointed that they didn't reveal Reed Richards. But like, I know they've announced the Fantastic Four movie at this point, like that's official, but still, for them to just kind of almost randomly, even though they would sort of announce it in the episode previous to it, just have whoever's playing Reed Richards show up and be introduced as Reed Richards sounds kind of wild for me, even with as big a deal as they are making these Disney Plus shows,
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I guess that's it for what we were watching. So I guess we move on to what we've been playing. So you go ahead, you can start off.
So really all I played a touch of Scott Pilgrim, because I was telling you the other day I picked that up. Ubisoft had a sale for it on their store. And it looks great. It feels as good as it did. I don't think that game ever necessarily felt good. It's stiff in a way that even back then I didn't necessarily like, compared to like a Castle Crashers. Like there's a lot of being on the right plane to make sure you hit a guy that I'm not really a fan of. And also you're just moving is really slow unless you're running. But yeah, I just basically like a level of that. I got up to the first boss. Still as hard as I remember, even on the easiest setting. So yeah, I don't know that I'm going to necessarily beat that game, but I'll have fun playing it for a little bit. But mostly what I've been playing is I finished off the Super Mario 3D World. I don't think last time we recorded I quite finished it yet, but I think I was talking about just going back and kind of collecting all the stars and top of the flagpoles and stuff like that. I didn't have that much more to go. There was like one additional world, I think, because there's like, oh, you beat the game, and then there's like, oh, well, now here's like Bowser's world.
That's the world. Yeah, that's the world, and it pissed me off because I was like, no, I beat the game, you bastards.
Yeah. Here's Bowser's Carnival or whatever. So yeah, I beat that. That was all fine. Just more good Super Mario 3D World stuff. But since I finished that off, I didn't necessarily get all the stars and stuff yet. But I wanted to do something new instead of just kind of farming that stuff out. So I started out the Bowser's Fury stuff. And so far that's really cool. It's very much free roam camera 3D world. It's almost like a just completely open environment. I don't know how big it actually is, but like as you reach these certain areas in the world, that basically acts like you've entered a level. It'll show you how many cat shines you have, because that's what you're collecting in this. And it'll just be like that little area that it's talking about. Like, oh, there are 5 mini shine things that you collect, and that gives you 1 big shine or whatever. And then there are actual activities that you get to get shines. Like one was like catch Shadow Luigi and stuff like that. And then during that entire thing, there's like this instance of huge Bowser who's out of control and 20 million times the size he normally is. And of course he's Cat Bowser. He's got the tail and the ears and everything going on, the stripes. Because everything in this world does. The piranha plants have ears and tails. The Goombas all do. The Koopas do. The big bully round ball things with the horns, those do. Literally just everything has freaking cat tails on it. That's kind of fun. And you can also become like giant like Bowser. It's almost like a kaiju battle type thing of I unlock this big cat bell thing in like the center of town, and I guess if I go ring that when Big Bowser comes out, because it's like every once in a while he shows up, like you're just running around these levels and then everything turns dark and then he appears off in the distance and then he shoots like volcanic things at you that creates platforms in some cases. And then if you get a shine during that time, the lighthouses light up and then that damages him. But I think also if you go over to that cat bell thing, then you become huge and maybe you can like fight him normally. I didn't get over to the cat bell in time before he disappeared. It's a very interesting concept though. Like, the idea that it might just be like an open world Mario game, but also there are like these leveled instances is kind of cool. I wouldn't mind seeing a full game in that way. And Odyssey was sort of like that because you would find like the different paths into the other levels. So you didn't necessarily always have to go to your spaceship, but this is more, even more interconnected, and it's really cool so far. So I'm really digging it.
I really want to try that. I really want to try that now. Yeah. I kind of want to play Odyssey again. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
still think about from time to time the fact that I haven't beaten like the moon stuff or whatever. And I don't know if there's like much more after that or if it's just that.
But yeah. I remember we were talking about like after you beat the game, there's still more game. But what is it like? What do? You collect the moon and what happens?
So you're talking about Odyssey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the level that I was at, like, I guess you beat Bowser, right? I can't even remember what that was, but you beat Bowser and then you go to the moon. And then the part that I was at that I got stuck at basically, or just kind of gave up on, was mostly a boss rush. It was like, here, you're going to keep fighting these rabbits. The ones that you fought as like mini bosses throughout the game, you're going to fight them one after another. And I don't know where that goes afterwards. If like you beat them and then another world opens up, kind of like 3D World with the Bowser Carnival stuff, or if it's just, oh, hey, now you actually beat the game because you fought every boss in a row, and everybody loves when you do that, I'm sure.
Okay. So what about the System Shock?
Oh, yes. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Even though I wrote it on there specifically so I wouldn't, because I had forgotten about it until I opened last week's notes and saw that you had played it. Yeah, I played the System Shock demo. I played it through GeForce Now, which wasn't great because when we had previously used the GeForce Now, like, I guess it was just early enough that nobody was really using it. So I never had an experience where I really had to sit and wait to get queued up and like, oh, there's no machine available for you type thing. And this time I did. I think I literally just had my computer running for like 30 to 45 minutes, maybe almost an hour, just waiting for it to find a instance for me to play. And now obviously I'm using the free version. I'm not paying for GeForce Now, so I didn't get priority. But yeah, that was kind of disappointing, to be honest with you, because I expected to just be like, oh, I'm gonna jump in here, play this demo real quick, and get back out. And that was not the case at all. It probably would have been just as quick for me to have downloaded through Steam and played it that way. But the demo itself, man, that thing is rough. I'm not entirely sure what I expected, because after playing it, I thought about it, and I remember them kind of saying like this is a budget kind of thing. Like, I don't want to say budget, but like it was a smaller team that was working on it, and they were kind of working within their constraints, right? And that's definitely very much what this is. Like, it's not a AAA remake of this game. It is maybe them gussying up the graphics a little bit. I honestly can't tell you what that game looks like. I dabbled with it years and years ago a little bit just to kind of get an idea for what everybody was raving about, because when people were talking about BioShock, they always would go back to System Shock and say, you know, this is basically the spiritual successor to that, and if you like that, you would very much like this. But I can see why people would say that, but this game is not a game I would want to play, to be honest with you. Like, the mechanics of it didn't feel great. Just the inventory stuff, dealing with that is too much for me, for what it was. Like, there's just, I don't like games where I have to actively manage trash. And that's kind of my own problem, because I want to pick up everything. Like, it's kind of the same in like a Fallout game. But then I'm like getting to the point where I'm like, okay, hold on, I got to pause this battle because I need to pick up some more ammo, but I can't pick up ammo because I don't have any room in my inventory because I've got 20 coffee mugs and like 6 things over here and whatever. Yeah, but like the shooting stuff felt not good. The melee stuff didn't feel great either. And the game is just, it's ugly. Part of it originally for me was for whatever reason, GeForce Now like had it running at like 720p, but I did bump it up to 1080, and it still was very rough. Like, if you told me that this was Half-Life 1 with like gussied up graphics a little bit, you know, like not remaster, but like a fan mod or something like that, where it's like, here's some higher res textures, maybe, like, I would believe you, because that's how rough this thing looks. Overall, I was really kind of disappointed in it. I kind of expected more, having not really been following it, but knowing that it existed and then playing it, it was just like, oh, this is bad. It's downright bad.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Well, the only reason I couldn't really get into it because like the controller interface wasn't great. So, and I'm not, my mouse and keyboard setup is not, I'm not really good with mouse and keyboard, and I didn't have my keyboard whatever that thing is called,
the Razer guy.
hooked up. So
I gotcha.
that's where I really couldn't get into it.
It
But,
definitely was
you know-
throwing me off a bit because they have like dedicated lean buttons, which I didn't really find much use for. So I was like always pressing one of those to want to like use an item and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
did
doesn't
record some gameplay of that though, so I need to send that to you if you want it.
Yeah, I want to see, what other people think of it, like when it gets later to release or something. Because I was interested in it, but now like hearing what you said about it, and yeah, because I just wanted to be simple inventory like how BioShock was.
Yeah.
Getting things, just pick up ammo and health. Then there you go. But I mean, if that's the game it was, the people are into, then I understand.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm not big on inventory management either. Like, when I play Skyrim and them, I put the cheats on where I can just pick up everything. I have infinite weight. My package is full and my weight is just infinite. So, I definitely ain't doing that. All right. So I guess I'll talk about the games I've been playing. So it's been a couple of weeks. So I've played quite a few games. I'm still helping my friend compete against this guy. They're battling. My friend was ahead of him by quite a bit because I helped him. I got him. I found this game that I played before Fractured Minds.
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah. So I played it with his account and got the easy 1,000 points there.
Nice.
I was like, okay, there you go. And he needed that, man, because that man's playing some games, man. And like,
oh man,
I'm
telling you, it's a bot or it's a guy that's like farming this out to some neighborhood kids or something. 'Cause he just wants to be number one on the leaderboard, man. He's a bad lawyer in real life, so he's like, I gotta achieve something, and it's gonna be to be number one on my friends list on the Xbox achievements board every month.
And I wish I knew what his friends list was. Maybe it's just a person out there who's just really slaying it.
Yeah.
Or something. But hey, he's number one on ours. Yeah. So my friend, he's at like 2,800 something points, and he's at 2,800 something points too. But my friend's like a few points ahead of him right now. So I beat Halo 3 and I played some of Halo ODST.
Mm.
And so I did all this in Legendary, so he get all these points.
Nice.
So and I mean, he's been playing some games too, getting some points. So I also played under his name Doom, because now that the Bethesda has released some games on Game Pass, which we'll get into later on in the gaming news. I played Doom 1993 on the PC, and I haven't played Doom in a long time. Even when you bought it on Switch, I haven't touched it on the Switch. I said I was one day, but man, there's so many games on the Switch too that I haven't touched. So I played that. Oh, man, and God, I forget, like, I'm trying to jump and I say, oh, there's no jump button. I forget there's not a jump button in Doom. and because I'm busy trying to jump out like a window. So I say, hey, I'm going to jump out here. And I was like, oh, no, I don't know what the jump button is.
That's what no-clip mode's for. You just run right through it.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's what I remember, those codes. Oh, my God, it's going through levels, no clipping. And I used to always turn the codes on. When my dad first told me those cheats, man, I said, yep, just always turn these on. That's how I beat the game. I never beat the game without cheats. But I playing through that, man, a shotgun is just beautiful. Just using a shotgun all the time. Mm-hmm. And then the chain gun, I finally got the chain gun. I still like the shotgun better. So I was like, it's taking still longer to kill some people. It's just that I can just spread. Mm-hmm. The shotgun's like insta kill. There you go. Bam. Insta kill. And then like, you don't aim real. I mean,
no,
you can only aim, horizontally, like where you're looking. You can't look up or down. You can't move your character to look vertically. So I see a guy up high. I'm thinking like, oh man, how do I shoot him? Oh, you just aim to where they're at and it'll just shoot to them.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's like, oh, that's how I was playing this game all this time. I wasn't like when someone's up high, I wasn't aiming high. I just had to aim straight where they were, and it'll just magically, the bullet will kill them up top. It's just like, what the fuck? But man, yeah, this game, it brings my memories. Playing this game, like I'm remembering something. I said, oh my God, I played this game a lot more than I thought. I said, darn. I was like, man, this is really bringing about some nostalgia, man, of playing Doom. This is amazing. But I got some achievements for him in that game too. I think that's basically it, what I played under his name. Mm-hmm. Now, the games I just played, I played some more Hades. I got to Elysium. So you start off in, I forgot where you start off at. I forgot the names of them. Tartarus. You start off in Tartarus. You go up to this lava level, which I forgot what that was called. Is where the Hydra is. And then you go up to Elysium, which seems more nice and peaceful. I guess that's where the good people go to die. When they die. And that's where you fight at the end of that battle. I mean, the end of that world, you fight, I forgot his name. He's a real guy. But he's like a champion, and he killed the Minotaur. The guy who killed the Minotaur in history. Is it Theseus? Oh, that's somebody else. I think that's somebody else. No, that's Achilles. Maybe it's Theseus.
Yeah, it was Theseus.
Yeah. So I'm fighting Theseus and the Minotaur. Like, the Minotaur's on his side now, and you always have to fight both of them. Sometimes you fight the Minotaur by himself, like a pre-boss, and then you end up still fighting both of them again, which I think that's unfair. That's like, this sucks. And you even mentioned, like, the guy, your character always mentions something like, why can't you just face it by yourself? Why you gotta fight with him, and blah, blah, blah. And I beat him. I finally beat him. I was getting my butt kicked by him like a lot of times. I always get my butt kicked by sometimes the Hydra. All depends what powers I have, how good I am. Sometimes I could kick the Hydra's butt, or I'll get my butt kicked by those guys. But I finally beat them, and I got to this upper level, and I thought I had to fight my dog, Cerberus, because you see him at the gate, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to fight my pet. But no, all you have to do, he wasn't going to fight you, but he wasn't going to let you pass unless you give him a treat. So you got these dungeons that you don't know which one has the treat. So you got to pick one. You got to go through it. Sometimes you hope you can get it in the first go, so you don't have to keep fighting, because you're busy losing health before you get to the last boss. So I got the treat. Well, the first time I died instantly because I was already almost about to die. So I didn't get there. So after a few more playthroughs, I finally got back up there again. I found the right dungeon to get the treat, and I gave it to Cerberus. I got past, and that's where you've had to fight your father. Father kicked my ass. I fought him about 4 times now. Man, I lost every time, but like the first 2 times, he just beat me up quick.
Yeah.
Third time, I got luckily had some powerful enhancements from the guards and all this other nature, like the hammer, like this thing, it's a hammer where you can get that builds up certain enhancements too. And I was just powerful. And I was like, this might be my chance to beat him finally. Got there, and I did beat him. I beat him. But then he said, I forgot what he said. Basically, it was like he got real, and like his health comes back up, and then he's just more powerful. And I'm like, this is bullshit. And then he beat me. So I'm like, damn, when am I going to get powerful enough to beat this guy? Like, this is getting frustrating now. But I mean, there's still more story though. So it's not like I'm like, oh, this is all I have to do is to beat him. No, there's still, like, when I die, I go back down to the chambers and stuff, and still things to talk to people about. I'm still, and like one time a story element opened up of a flashback of me working for my father, like why you become more strange to your father's somewhat. I mean, it looked like he was still estranged even at that point. So I really want to know what happened. Like what's the story of like why you, I mean, I know why you want to leave because you want to find your mother, but like why is your father, why you're so frustrated with your father, why your father's so frustrated with you.
Right.
So I think there's still more to learn from that. And each character has their own little story also as you talk to them. So it's there's a guy named I forgot his name, but he's basically deaf. And he helps you out. Like he's I guess he's like your brother, really. Brother / friend. And he like you, it's like a challenge really too at the same time. Like he helps you kill these enemies and you kill them. I think if you kill more enemies than he does, he gives you an extra gift. But it's a story about that too. And like you talking with, him, and it's yeah, the game is good. It's well written and the voice acting is great. I do like how the gods, sometimes there'll be a chamber where you have to pick one of the god's abilities. There'll be two of them, and you'll end up getting both if you beat the challenge. But like if you pick one god's ability, they'll give you the ability, but the other god gets mad, like, hey, you chose him, you chose that person instead of me. So that he sends all these enemies at you. You gotta beat him, and then he gives you his ability after you beat those enemies. But it's always like they get jealous. The gods get jealous or something like that. It's just crazy. But yeah, the game is fun. It's a fun rogue like game. I like it. I really enjoy it. I think I might like it better than Dead Cells. Like I might like this better than Dead. I guess because the story. Well, the action. I think I like this better than Dead Cells. I like the action and the story. The story element to it. I think that's what really makes this better than a lot of those roguelike games for me.
Right.
Is having that story element to it. It's like they have like the gameplay is great. Like if they didn't have a story element to it, the gameplay would still be great. It would still be a great game. That added element to it just makes it so much better. What else have I played? I played some Gears with my friends one weekend. Nice. Played some Horde. We played on one of those flashback stages. It was from Gears 2, Blood Drive.
Oh, nice. And played Blood Drive.
Yeah. And we played up to 50, so we got it. And
oh man.
Yeah, that was great. Because now I like that they finally did what I always said, Dan. Like, can you please implement like if you don't have enough people in Horde, have bots take over. Bots take over, yeah. And they have bots now. So it was 3 of us and 2 bots. So yeah, that was fun. What else have I played? I played some NBA 2. Oh yes. NBA 2K1 is on Game Pass now. And so that, I mean, Microsoft has been getting last year they got 2K20. So they must be getting a deal with 2K or something. I don't know. Like for the last 2 years, I've been getting 2K. Yeah. So I've been playing some 2K1. I've been playing with my Wizards, playing the way they should be, winners. And I also Madden 21 is available. Yeah. On Game Pass / EA Play. So I know my friend was even talking about like I think I might get him on his own. See, I said, yo, just wait a little bit. I think it's not gonna be that long until it comes on, Game Pass. And yeah, I'm glad he didn't buy it because yeah, it's on Game Pass. So I played some Madden. It does feel a little bit different than 20, like playing it. Was offensively when I played it, it feels a little better. I do like it, but it is very cut and paste. Like a lot of things are very similar. I mean, like the menu system just looks like the color is different, but it's still the same. That's just really like the designs are different, but it's still very much the same. Yeah, and then I heard a rumor somebody was like, don't expect huge changes from even this year's because maybe if the changes they want to make is going to take some time. That's what the rumor is I saw, but I don't know if that's true or not. But that's disappointing if it is, It's like, damn it, that you guys, because I don't want to take a year off to really work on something new, but it's like, damn, y'all, why y'all just took out so much stuff from the old franchise mode and you gave us this bare bones one. And like, I'm playing 2K1, like I can pick, like I can control everything in my own franchise mode. Like I control other teams. I can control trades. I can do anything. I can, now, Madden, it does let you force wins. Like you want, like, hey, I want this team to win this game without even playing it. You can do that. Okay. You can do that in 2K also, but in Madden, I can't control no other team. I can't, and like when I pause a game, like if I'm playing a game and I pause it, I say, you know what? I want to just play, let the computer play or something, like just simulate, like let them just play it. I gotta do a special thing to do that. Like, you can do that, but it's not as simple as 2K of you just move your controller. Like you can't move your controller. All you can do is say, hey, the computer will control you, but that's still your team. You can't even play with the other team. You can't move your controller, like hit pause, say, hey, I want to control this team now or something like that. They don't let you do that. No, they treat it like it's almost like you're playing online and that's your opponent. They don't want to mess up the statistics for online, but I'm like, I'm not online.
Right.
This is offline. Like I should be able to do anything the fuck I want. Like it doesn't matter. Who cares? Or like, why can't I change the difficulty? Like you can't even change the difficulty while you're playing. Like I say, okay, I want to play it all Madden. That's like, oh, it's a little too tough. Or vice versa. Like, oh, this is too easy. Like I know rookie is too easy. It's definitely too easy. Sometimes pro can be a little too easy sometimes. Really. All Madden is kind of just right, but sometimes I get frustrated with it. But it's like you can't even change the difficulty while you're playing. You have to leave out the game, quit the game to go change your difficulty. It has to be, everything is set. You can't change the sliders or nothing. Like you want your sliders to be, you can't do any of that unless you quit your game and go outside the game to change it. Once you're in the game, everything, mostly everything is set. While 2K, you can do anything. You can change all that shit. Like I can even in the middle of a 2K game, I can load other people's sliders that's online while I'm playing.
Nice.
It is crazy how the limitations in Madden has. I just remember in that when they used to have no limitations, it doesn't make sense. Why would you implement these limitations in a single player experience?
Right.
I can understand if it's an online, but see, they combined it. They went lazy with it. They combined the offline and online franchise mode so that even though it says offline franchise mode, it's still like it's online. It's just that you're offline. Like you're not playing with anybody who's online, but the menus and everything is still the same. Instead of making that separate, they still just left it so it could be easy. I guess just they don't have to do more work. I guess. I don't know. Even though I don't think it's much more work. You just let me do what the fuck I want in the menus.
Right.
I don't get it. It's weird. Yeah, it frustrates a guy like me who likes to I like to just do a lot of change. I like to change things and do things my way if I play by myself. What else have I played? I think that's it. Oh, Trails. I played some more Trails. I mean, it's not really much to talk about there. I'm thinking about the next game I want to play because for Trails, I'm going to take a break probably from that series after I beat this one. I'm trying to think like what game do I want to invest my time in? I think I might go back to Spider-Man. And after Hades, I think I might go to a Switch game. Like every now and then I play the Switch. I did play a little bit of the Hyrule Warriors game. I played a little bit of that. I hadn't played any Dragon Ball Z recently. But yeah, I think I might take a break. Yeah. After Hades and Trails, I might focus on maybe the PS4 games. So PS4 games and probably put more focus on Hyrule Warriors, like just beat that game. Maybe I'd do that. Also, I mean, except for the sports games, which I always just play every now and then. I'm waiting for baseball, but that's not until the end of April, that baseball game. Yeah, so that's about it. So I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. And then we're flashback into 2011, 10 years ago, new month. Now, usually on new month, I do the covers of magazines. I'm going to save that till next week because we got quite a bit of news because we've been gone for a bit. So I'm going to save that for next week. But I got some games to talk about though. So 10 years ago, what came out for the last 2 weeks, we had Fight Night Champion for the PS3 and Xbox 360.
All right.
This was the new Fight Night that had a story to it, a story mode, like a campaign. It was good, and it was a good story. My friend had this game, and he just kept telling me how, man, this is a great story. This is a great game, man, Dominic. And then he let me hold it. He finally let me hold it, and yeah, I liked it. It was good. I'm trying to remember because I haven't played it in a while. I know you were a boxer. I think your brother was a boxer too, but I think he's in different. I don't know if he's in a different weight class or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, I forgot exactly what the story was, but I knew it made me get invested because I don't know boxers. Like I don't really watch boxing a lot. So the recent boxers, I definitely don't know. Only people I know is the older guys. So I was thinking, like, do I really care about going through a boxing campaign? I don't know. It's like, if there's a story to it, yeah, you know what? It makes things more interesting. Kind of like wrestling. Like, I don't just like wrestling to be wrestling sometimes. Sometimes I like the story to it. It's like, oh, yeah, I like, I enjoy it. So, I mean, it has to be something weird, like Ready to Rumble boxing, something like that, you know? It's got to be something kooky. I mean, I like boxing games, but then I'll get bored of them. You know, I would get bored of them. It'll be cool. It'll be real. It's like, oh, this looks nice. But then I was like, oh, okay, I'm done. But see, if you had a story element to it, it keeps me going, which this did. Had a nice campaign, and the ending, man, it was tough. It was hard. I don't think I beat it. Yeah, I think I stopped. I don't think I ever beat the game because that guy was hard as shit. I think I just ended up watching it on YouTube. I think I watched it on YouTube. My friend said, yeah, it was hard for him too. He said at one point he had to just turn off all the sound and keep everything just quiet so he could just focus. He could just focus on trying to beat that guy. But yeah, I think it's backwards compatible, or I wonder if it's on EA Play. I wonder if it's up there because that has to be like, I think that's the last Fight Night game. I think that was it,
yeah,
right?
I think so.
Yeah, and this is the final Fight Night game until they moved on to UFC. So yeah, which now you see fighters, you see boxers in UFC, right? You see, so it is yeah. So that is it's a historic day then, Daniel. That is the last Fight Night game, the last one, and before that it was called Knockout Kings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, by EA, yeah. All right, so what else we got? We got Pixel Junk Shooter 2 came on PS3. One of those Pixel Junk games. The Pixel Junk, they still make games? They still
I
make
haven't
Pixel Junk
seen
games?
like a new one in that series for quite a while, but I wonder who the developer is behind that. Junk Shooter.
I had one like to get in the early access to a game that I think I played one time and never went back to.
Yeah, I'm still seeing just Pixel Junk stuff. Pixel Junk Raiders is exclusive to the Google Stadia and available March 1st, 2021, apparently. So that just came out.
But yeah, I mean, this game got rated. I mean, I don't know how. I know one got rated good. I'm sure two probably got decent ratings also. It's a game I never played though. I never really played these games. Did you?
No, I never did. I want to say I tried one of them when it was on the Vita, but I can't even remember which one, honestly.
What else we got? Rift came out on Windows. I want to say that's a RPG, right? It's an online. Yes, an online MMO.
I remember that cover.
Yeah, and I wonder if maybe it's still going on. I don't see it. It says it stopped. Oh no, it stopped.
Yep.
On April 7th, 2019, 2 years ago. Rift Prime closed down. Okay, so man, 10 years ago. So Rift, it had an 8-year run. So I guess that's
not terrible.
All right. It's not. Yeah, it's not terrible. No. I mean, shit. I mean, I guess what is it? MMO post is going forever. What it supposed to start? Like, what's a good one from MMO?
When I release the sequel to it.
Yeah. Okay.
When I, as the company, am done with it, then that's a good run.
Oh, okay. So what about World of Warcraft? They don't have a sequel.
Exactly, because they haven't decided to do a sequel yet, so they're on a good run.
Oh, okay.
If you get to go out on your own terms, Dominic, it's
okay.
It's a good run.
Oh, maybe Riff did. Maybe Riff went out on his own terms.
I mean, maybe.
What else we got? We got here Warhammer 40,000. Dawn of War 2, Retribution. This I did play. I have this game, and I played it, and I do not like it as good as Dawn of War 1. Dawn of War 1 felt more like a StarCraft, while this felt more like a Diablo.
Mm.
So it wasn't so much building. It was more of you being a hero, and like you got to protect your hero and all that, and you go in a fight. It was like you building like your troops up and things of that nature. Yeah, I didn't really like that about it. I don't think I even finished that game. I finished all of 1, but I don't think I finished 2. Also 10 years ago, Pokemon Black and White came out in North America.
Can't believe it's been 10 years, and I also can't believe it's only been 10 years.
So this came out right before we got the 3DS in America.
Yep.
Or like around the same time, basically.
I remember being angry. How dare you not use the new hardware? Also, thank you for not using the new hardware because I got this hardware.
Yeah, exactly. What else we got here? We got another big release. Dragon Age 2 came out 10 years ago. It's been 10 years since Dragon Age 2. Man. And this game, I don't think I even played Dragon Age 1 yet. Or I just started it. I think I just started Dragon Age 1. Because I just got my PC. Oh my god, my PC is 10 years old. Yep. I just got my PC in about 2010 or 2011, and I just first I picked up Warcraft, and then I got Dragon Age 1, and I was like, let me play this before Dragon Age 2 comes out. And it was, and this game, I mean, it was alright. I still like 1 the best. 2 had a good story. It's just that it reused a lot of environments, man. It was, I just want to know what the story behind 2 was. Mm-hmm. Like, why does this feel so, I don't want to say cheaply done, but I kind of do.
Yeah.
Because compared to what BioWare has done, it just feels like, why do y'all use a lot of assets in this? It's
might scale back their budget.
Yeah, what happened? Like, what happened? Why did this happen? Why did 2 happen the way it did?
Them, Dominic, it's got to be.
Yeah, well, that's what some people would say. Yeah, I wonder. The story was still good, though. It was still an interesting story. I still liked it. I still enjoyed playing it. Mm. They had good characters. I like Varric, the dwarf. But yeah, and I kind of want to go play. Like I said, I had an itch, man, to play go to Dragon Age like all over again, man. I kind of want to get. I got that itch. Mass Effect, I got an itch, but I'm just gonna wait for when the re-release come. I mean the remastered. But yeah, it was. Yeah, I saw the reviews. The reviews were kind of they were good, but people, I think a lot of people still expected something way better. Like, people were disappointed. There were people who didn't like it, like compared to the first one, but people definitely were like, man, this feel like a step back. It felt like a step back for the first one. Not really a step forward. It said, like, because people said, oh, they dumbed it down. That's what a lot of people, especially PC people, said they really dumbed this game down for the crowd, for the masses, for people like Daniel. They dumbed it down for people like you, because you like you said, you like Mass Effect 2 because of how it was more actiony than Mass Effect 1. Yeah.
Yep.
But you didn't buy this game anyway, so they ruined. So they didn't have to do it.
They didn't have to. Maybe I'll get around to playing it one day. It's funny. I'm looking through the EA Play stuff, and they have Dragon Age 2 and Fight Night Champion right next to each other on the thing. So Fight Night Champion is part of it.
Oh, that's good. I mean, one day I could go ahead and beat it. I could find and get that last achievement. The only problem with EA Play is that you don't get the DLC, and there's so much DLC.
Yeah.
For those games, man. It's ridiculous. To the point where it's probably better for you to just buy the damn game. All right. Oh, another big release. Somewhat big release. Major League Baseball 2K11. This is not as good as this MLB The Show, which also came out. MLB The Show 11 came out. 2K11, who did it have on the front? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. Sorry. But I do remember the show. I think it was Joe Mauer on the show, I believe. 2K11, let me look it up. MLB.
Somebody from the Phillies. Trying to look here.
Oh, Roy Halladay. Shit.
Oh, okay.
All right, so Roy Halladay.
Heard of him?
So is on the front. I think he won. They won a championship when he was pitching. But I had MLB The Show on my PS3. I used to get 2K games because that was the only one I could get on the Xbox, and I had a PS3 at the time. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Was this how many more 2Ks I think we got quite a few more 2Ks until they stopped. I think, I don't think this was the last one. No, I don't think this was the last one.
There was at least a 13.
Okay, so at least a 13. All right.
Let's see. 14. Yeah, it looks like 13 is the last one.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, but it was not a monopoly on baseball yet at this time. So what else we got here? We got Mega Man 3 on PlayStation Network. Why is this up here? I mean, it's just a re-release of Mega Man. Oh, whatever. What else we got here? We got the Atari Greatest Hits Volume 2
for
Nintendo DS.
They didn't make it to the Greatest Hits 1. I don't know that I really want to play them.
You got Ridge Racer Type 4 for the PlayStation Network.
Ridge Racer.
And you got... Okay, that's it. That's all I'm going to stop being for those because I'm not going to say these two because I don't know what the hell they are. Okay, I'm going to go down here. Okay, I don't need to say this. We got... Oh, yes. This is a big game, Daniel. Chuck E. Cheese's sports games for the Wii.
Yeah.
Came out. The Wii version came out.
Cashing in on that Wii stuff.
Yeah, you get to jump in the balls, man, and hope nobody peed in them. Know that?
God.
You get to
run over to the arcade section and play the Terminator shooting game.
And then we talk about this. Like, I always heard stories of people saying that happened, but I was like, thank God it never happened with me, man, because God, I can't imagine jumping in. It's
you
like,
know what they say,
Dominic?
If you've never been in a pit of balls where somebody peed on it, it was you that peed on them.
That does not make any sense. Shut up. Torchlight came out for the Xbox 360. It came out, it was already out on PC for about, I think, 2 years before this. But it finally came on 360. That's where I finally got my hands on it because I tried it out. And it's an alright game. I mean, it's just like Diablo, to me. Like a little cartoonish looking Diablo. Kind of like if Diablo had the art style of World of Warcraft, which is they're the two same companies. But yeah, it's all right game. I know a guy who I know he plays that game quite a bit. At least the third one because it came out recently. What else we got here? Unreal Tournament. Oh no. Okay, this is wrong. I am getting ahead of ourselves because that is for 2001. So that is it for 2011. So now we're going back to where are we going back to? 2001. 2001, 20 years.
We made it.
So now I can say it. We have Unreal Tournament on the Dreamcast was released.
I feel like I remember that being a good version of that game. People were excited.
Yeah, I think it was all right. And I think you could play online against the PC people, and they will kill you because you had a Dreamcast controller. Also, the Daytona USA, the Dreamcast version was released. Don't know what this game was rated. I was thinking like, oh man, these cars must look really good. I said, but you're no Gran Turismo 3 because I saw those screenshots. what that game gonna look like?
Yeah.
But yeah, these are the last few games, man, before Dreamcast was pretty much done. Oh, what else we got here?
Creeping up on us, Dominic.
Yeah, nobody knew, but me. I knew. Lego Island 2: The Brickster's Revenge came out on the Windows 98 and the PlayStation 1,
Brickster,
and the Game Boy Color, Game Boy for Advance. Oh, Windows 98. Good God, man. But I did not
know it.
I did not play these Lego games. This is before Lego was cool.
How dare you? I think Lego Island 1 was pretty good.
It was nerdy.
Too.
You play Lego Island?
I think I played some of Lego Island 1 back in the day.
Oh, okay. No, see, I didn't think Legos were cool until Star Wars. The Star Wars Lego game came out.
I mean, they were pretty good games, so.
Yeah. What else came out? Oh, this is a big one. Conker's Bad Fur Day released 20 years ago. Did you buy this game? Or did your parents buy you this game?
No. I think it was a combination of like the end of the N64 already, basically, and it just being too mature. Like, I don't even know that I tried to convince my parents that I needed that game. Like, I already was like, whatever. I've got Banjo-Kazooie. I'll be all right over here. All
right. Also, The Bouncer came out 20 years ago. The Bouncer. That's
a big week right there, Dominic.
Yeah. The Squaresoft at the time. I think they were Squaresoft. I don't think they were Square Enix at the time. Yeah. And then it's that character on the front who looks like Squall.
Yeah.
Tidus for Final Fantasy X, and Sora. Well, actually, they look
Dressed
like him because he's the
prototype.
He is the prototype, exactly. The prototype for Sora and Tidus because because he had a clothes like Tidus. Because when I saw Tidus, like, hey, Tidus looks similar to that guy from The Bouncer. But then when I saw Sora, I was like, whoa, he looks like the guy for The Bouncer.
There's just so many zippers on his attire.
Exactly. That is definitely the prototype for Sora. That is definitely a prototype for Sora. Also, I know you played this game a lot, probably. Mary-Kate Ashley Winner's Circle for the Game Boy Color was released 20 years ago.
I'm sure that was like a horse racing thing or something, right?
That's got it. Okay, I wonder how many more Mario-Kate and Ashley games came out. Like, when did they stop?
Once they turn 21, Dominic. Or 19. Probably once they turn 19.
That's right. They still, because they're your age. So, well, they're basically my age too. I mean, only a year older. But yeah, so 20 years ago, I was in high school. So so they were still underage then. It was so weird. People just like, well, I can't wait to get over age. I mean, for me, it didn't make a difference because they're our age.
Exactly.
So we can look at them. And I always thought, but to me, when I was like, man, these girls skinny. I don't care about them. I was like, I said, that's a white boy thing. That must be a white boy thing or something. But man, I think people say, oh man, when they got it outrageous, oh man, she's anorexic. What the hell?
And then we got a better Olsen, so we just forgot about him.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so sad to say.
It's like, where'd she come from?
Exactly.
All right, what else we got here? We got Sonic Shuffle came out. I think that's what was that? Was that the dancing one, right?
I think so.
Because we talked about this, it was on the magazine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was the music.
And it came out on the Dreamcast, which was probably the last Sonic game. Because I think Sonic 2 already came out. I'm not sure if it came out yet. Actually, I don't know if it came out yet. Maybe it did. Maybe I mentioned it, but I can't remember if it was on the magazine cover or because it got released.
thought it was the magazine cover for some reason.
Yeah. So we got Star
Or it was the
Wars.
Mario Party style one. That's what it was.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, I knew. I felt like I said that before, but I was wrong. Yes, Mario started. Yeah, so they got that Mario Party game.
Yep.
The Dreamcast. So you got all types of games on Dreamcast. For the short lifespan it had everything. It had all the genre. I mean, it had a lot, man. I mean, I give it to him. I give it to Dreamcast. Star Wars Episode 1, Battle for Naboo came out for the Windows version came out. Onimusha Warlords came out for PlayStation. That was a big release because that was like, Capcom's big game on the PS2. And it was like, we like Resident Evil. And it seemed kind of a little spooky. It wasn't really that scary. I don't think because I was afraid. I was like, oh man, it's just a horror game. And then when I played this, this ain't a horror game. I can play this. Not that one. Oh, this one. SpongeBob SquarePants, Legend of the Lost Spatula came out for the Game Boy Color. You play that game?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Also, Sandlot, the company was founded.
Man. Oh, okay.
So, and they...
I thought you were going to tell me there was a Sandlot game. And I was like, all right. You go save the baseball from the dog.
No, this is a Japanese company. And I mean, they like baseball, so I guess they have Sandlots over there.
Yeah.
And so they are the guys who helped create some of the Earth Defense Force games.
Oh, nice.
And they were founded 20 years ago.
Makes sense. Sandlots, giant ants. I get it now.
Yeah. Also, Hot Shots Golf 2 came out 20 years ago, on the PlayStation. And that was a very popular golf game, man. Like on the PlayStation. I never paid attention to it. Then I finally played a demo of it. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, this game is cool. I didn't like golf. This is before Tiger Woods, or Tiger Woods just happened. And not before Tiger. I'm sorry, it's not before Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods just happened, but I still wasn't into golf. So seeing Hot Shots Golf was like, this is actually fun. Like, I actually enjoy it. I never played Mario Golf or anything like that. Any golf game that was on Super Nintendo era, I did not care. I don't care how zany it was. It just, I just didn't care about it.
Yeah.
Disney's Aladdin and Arissa's Revenge
I never
came
knew
out on the
this
PlayStation.
Existed.
You never knew this existed?
Now, I didn't realize there was a 3D Aladdin platformer.
Yeah, the reason I know because I remember seeing it in a magazine, advertisement for it. But yeah, when I saw this, I was like, oh yeah, there was. I don't know what this got rated though, like if it was liked or anything.
Yeah,
but man, this is still the time where we were still getting some licensed games, obscured as it even taught like a movie came out. They were just like, hey, we're just making this game and just do it. What else we got? Star Trek Away Team came out for the Windows.
Always a new Star Trek game.
So so that's it. So I got one game for 15 years ago. 15 years ago, 1996, we had Mario RPG came out for the Super Nintendo.
Nice.
And this is a game I didn't try till years later from playing it on an emulator. And actually, no, that's a lie. My sister had this game. I tried it out.
Nice.
And I was like, oh man, this looks cool. But I never I come over a house, but it's like, that game's an RPG, it takes forever. I never was going to beat it. But just trying it out, I did like it. And then I finally got it on the PC and I played it a bit. And I always end up stopping. For some reason, I always end up stopping and I just don't ever go fully through the game. But I just wish they would release that. Like, that should be, why is that?
It's crazy to think that that's not on the Switch.
The Super Nintendo thing. Or, hey, it's Mario's freaking anniversary. How about you just make a big Mario pack and have all the fucking games or something like that?
Yeah, and now it's the anniversary of this game. Like, we should be hearing within, like, the week that this game is coming to the Switch, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You can work with Square to get that shit on there. Like, there's got to be a way. Seems crazy.
All right, then. So I guess that is it for the flashback segment. So I guess we'll take a quick break. And when we get back, we get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. Let's get into the gaming news. What we got, Dad?
All right, Dominic. First up this week, we got Kaze and the Wild Mask. That is one of the games that we talked about during the Xbox Summer of Gaming thing that happened last year, where they had all the demos and whatnot on there. Platformer, you play as a rabbit. It was pixel arty, looked good, played good, liked it a lot. That is coming out March 26th on PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch, as well as Google Stadia, if you choose to play it there. So, yeah, there's also another one, the Space Otter Charlie. That one is coming out, I believe it's next week, right? It was March 18th or something like that, I think.
Yeah, that's
so
what
those
you
games
that's
are
what
starting to come out now.
Yeah, because
cool.
I enjoyed both those games. So yeah, I definitely want to see how they review and how people like them. I might check them out.
Yeah, absolutely. In some other news, Denuvo, which we've talked about previously quite a few times, they're the company that creates the anti-piracy and anti-cheat software that is much maligned on the PC for basically running in the background, stealing all your data, and slowing your games down. They are partnering with Sony to bring some of their wonderful technology to the PlayStation 5. Most specifically the anti-cheat stuff. More online focused, obviously, but what I want is just for, if we're going to go down this route, and we already went down the route of not having like game genies and stuff, can we get to the point where we're like Control, where I can just go into the options and turn on like God mode and one shot kill and stuff like that, please? Because I miss games like that. Like you talking about playing Doom 93, and it's like, oh yeah, just turn on God mode, turn on no clip. I can run through walls and stuff like that. That brings an extra layer of playability to a game.
It does.
Like,
it really does.
I might have played the game already, but I just want to take a quick jaunt through this thing, one shot killing everybody. Like it might motivate me to play it again. Like there's nothing wrong with that.
But the thing is, the anti-cheat, how much is that a problem?
I don't really play those games, so I'm not sure. But I mean, I remember when even on the 360, like Glenn was really into Call of Duty, and there would be like these weird servers that you send somebody money through PayPal, and now it's probably like Bitcoin or whatever that you get invites to, so you can prestige 9 times per round or something like that. And I know there are also like controllers out there that promise that you get like better auto aim, like they have auto aim built into the controller or something like that. There's some of that stuff, but I don't know on the grand scheme of things like how much of this is actually affecting people, you know?
Yeah, I just want to know, like, it's like they really need this. Like, oh, we got to partner with them for anti-cheat. Like, I know it happens. It always happens, but
yeah, and will always happen, even with them in place.
Yeah, it's just like is this really fixing a problem, or just is going to be adding a problem? Is it worth it?
Yeah. What layer of? Because like that's the problem with that stuff on PC, right? Is like it has like low level access, like registry level. It can do all sorts of things and basically slow down your entire system. So are we going to see a level of integration for this kind of stuff into PlayStation where it's like bare bones, it's running at all times, and is basically going to use some processing power that could be dedicated to something else?
I mentioned this before, but the anti-cheat is that now, see, on PC, it's a lot easier to cheat.
Yeah.
But the problem is that when it's more, people were saying, like, it's more than just anti-cheat. It's basically stopping you from, I forget the word. The monetization. like with how like with loot boxes and things of that nature,
Right.
like you can cheat that and like, hey, I can get these items and stuff without me having to grind or
you mean
pay
stealing, Dominic? You're stealing.
Yeah. But see, me, it's just that you implemented a system that's freaking wrong. It's fucked up. Like, people would listen. Yeah, there's people who probably gonna still cheat and get stuff. But if there was an easy grind to get certain things, like in Mortal Kombat, where it's so fucking the grind is so much, like even with cheating, it still takes a long time. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So it's like, dude, that y'all need to make your games better. You should have make it so that, like in Assassin's Creed, that you can pay for it to be more powerful to make the game a little easier.
Here's your experience doubler.
Yeah, and from what I heard is that people who done that, they said to test it out to see how it really is. It's more like this the way the game should have been made.
Right.
So see, it's like, that's why I had a problem with it. It's like, it's one thing you stopping cheaters. I understand. I get it. Even though it's a single player game, who gives a fuck? But now I see like, oh, wait a minute, you're getting it. Not really stopping just to cheat in your system for us to buy your shit, like your extra shit.
Yeah.
And things of that nature. That's what you're doing. Oh, okay. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with it. Like, it's one thing to stop cheaters. I totally understand. But, you just gotta work. You know? I mean, you just gotta catch them. I mean, that's just a job.
Yes. Absolutely. All right, Dominic, in another partnership, kind of a partnership, we got Epic. They are once again grabbing the popular thing in the day. Fall Guys, the developer behind them, Mediatonic, they have been purchased by Epic, much in the way that the Rocket Arena guys were not Rocket Arena. What is it called? Rocket League guys.
Yeah.
So honestly, like, I'm not going to say I'm excited for this, but at the same time, if they went like the direction they went with Rocket League and made this a free-to-play game and put it out on everything, I'm kind of excited for that. Like, I would like to see that. They already have all that microtransaction stuff in the game, so it's not like they would be making it, they would be doing that and making it worse. If anything, it would just be, more of the same. So
yeah, because I mean, looking at Fall Guys, I'm thinking like, why does this game cost money? Like, I mean, technically we didn't buy it because we got it free with the PlayStation.
Yeah,
but it's like this is a free to play game, right? I mean,
the mechanics of how much money you can spend in that thing definitely makes it feel that way, right?
Yeah,
that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, darn, I say, whoa, wait a minute, I get this free on PlayStation, but if I want to play this on the PC, I gotta pay for it. It's like, really? Or when it comes to Xbox and Switch, I'm gonna have to pay for it. It's
exactly.
Like, come on, man.
And I would absolutely pick that game up and play it on the Switch at least a couple of rounds if it were a free-to-play thing, but I'm not.
It's like, at least Rocket League had a single player. They had a single player where you could play as seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Fall Guys, you can't play that game by yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I want them to implement bots, Dominic. Give me bots. So I can just dominate them every time.
Yeah, I can finally see the end without me having to just watch people win.
All right, Dominic, one of the bigger pieces of news this week.
But hold on. But Epic Store picking this up, I mean, so one of us got to be the angry person because we hate Epic Store. Because that's how, to that is.
Goddamn Epic. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if they're, it's on Steam now, right? If like they're taking it off of Steam, then that sucks if you bought it. But also if they're going the route of Rocket League, which is a big assumption on my part, but it's more a hope than anything, then, make it free. So give me that.
All right. So, what else we got?
All right, Dominic, kind of big one this week. The approval from the EU and U.S. governments have come through on the acquisition of Bethesda games by Microsoft. So it is now official.
What about the AU? The Asia?
Signed. They don't get to say anything.
What about the other AU?
I don't know.
The Africa one.
They don't
or
get
the
to say
Australia
anything
one.
either.
The other
I
A.
thought,
the Triple A League. The Triple A.
They get no say here, apparently.
And
it's kind of funny that it's like these big regulatory bodies.
Quadruple
are
A
the
League.
ones
I'm
that
sorry.
matter.
Antarctica, I forgot them. The Penguins are angry.
I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure.
They're angry about
we
this
were going to
acquisition.
reject this. So we think Microsoft's creating monopoly. Penguins are extremely angry. But yeah, along with that, they had a nice little announcement video, and they did a roundtable with the guys like Phil Harrison and Aaron Greenberg and Todd Howard and the guy that does all the press and PR for Bethesda, Pete Hines, that's his name. Couldn't think of it for some reason. And it was basically just them saying, hey, we got games coming. All these developers are happy that we got games coming. Phil Spencer's happy that we've got games coming to the Xbox. And it was the first time they really kind of directly addressed, even though it's still kind of wishy-washy about what they're going to do as far as exclusives. Phil Spencer basically said, we're trying to create the best experiences for the places you can play Game Pass, so it sounds like they're still going to fulfill their contractual obligations. Obviously, things like Deathloop will still come to the PlayStation, but it sounds like they're very much leaning in the direction of things like Starfield, things like Elder Scrolls. What is it? 6, 5 at this point? 5, 4.
Yeah,
I don't even know. 6.
Six is coming up,
right? Yeah. Games like that are going to be exclusive to Xbox, PC, places you can play Game Pass. Now, if we can get to a point where I can play Game Pass on the PlayStation or the Switch, now we're talking. Yeah, we'll see. And that's also, I'm just going to say it now because I'm going to forget if I wait any longer, and I didn't write it on here. But have you heard that the latest update to the browser on the Xbox is going to be Chromium based, which is going to then open up your ability to stream things like GeForce Now and Stadia through your Xbox?
No.
Yeah. So apparently the beta ring, the people that get like the latest, greatest, but maybe still buggy versions of the Xbox system update, which I think at one point we both were, and then I think at one point we also both quit that because we were having trouble.
We were having trouble. Because I was like, oh man, it's sucking. But I mean, I guess it's expected to, but it's like,
right.
I just want to play my games and watch my TV.
Yep.
It's like,
yeah. So apparently users with that are testing this stuff, and it sounds like that's a thing that you can do. So there are people like playing Death Stranding through their Xbox technically now and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. If they leave that option in there, like the idea that you can do GeForce and Steam streaming and stuff like that to your Xbox, like now we're talking, Dominic. The future is here. So that's very cool. But to get back to the Bethesda Microsoft news, along with that roundtable that they posted, they also loaded basically all the Bethesda games onto Game Pass.
Except for a few.
They added 20. The list real quick is Dishonored, Dishonored 2, Doom, the original, Doom 2, Doom 3, Doom 64, Doom Eternal, Elder Scrolls 3, Morrowind, Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion, Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls Online, The Evil Within, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Fallout New Vegas, Prey, Rage 2, Wolfenstein: The New Order, Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, and Wolfenstein: Youngblood. Now, most of those will be available on PC as well as console. Some of them also are available through the cloud. Some of them aren't available on the PC. Some are available only on console. It's weird. But mostly, most of them are available everywhere. The one that sticks out to me mostly is Fallout New Vegas, which is only available on the console. You can't play that on PC or streaming. But yeah, that's a good selection of games there, Dominic.
Yeah. Except for I see they don't have the Doom. Doom 2016.
Yeah.
Up here.
Which is funny because they used to have it on there. And then they took it off, right?
Someone mentioned, because I was looking at the comments, a lot of people were saying that, but then someone mentioned that, Doom 2016 is on the PlayStation's Play Now. They wonder if that's really? Maybe some contractual obligation thing, and then they'll bring it over. Back. Maybe, I don't know.
That. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
But yeah, I was like, because I was about to go play that again, because I was like, oh yeah, so now I can play Doom, because I never finished that game, and I say I might as well play it and get achievements, or help my boy get his achievements playing on super hard on my PC, and have my little trainer help me. This is cool, man. Like Morrowind. I mean, I don't know if I ever play it though, but I always wanted to try it.
Yeah.
Oblivion. I do. Yeah, I always wanted to go back to Skyrim again. Because I didn't play that DLC. The Dragonborn King. What was his name? The first Dragonborn. Fallout 4. I still haven't finished that last DLC, but I wouldn't mind going back playing that again. And I'm just surprised that you didn't even damn finish that game. Yeah, I mean, this is awesome. Wait a minute. They have no, that's right. They don't have Wolfenstein. I forgot which the first. They have is it the first Wolfenstein they don't have, or the new one?
They have the New Order, the Old Blood. The Old Blood is the one that's like the side thing, right?
Yeah, that's the side story.
Yeah. So it's what is that thing called?
Wolfenstein New Colossus.
Yes. Yeah.
They don't have that one.
2. Huh.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's another one that's like Doom, where it's just somewhere else right now exclusively. So they have to. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like the Skyrim stuff was. You had the Dawn Guard, the Hearthfire, which was the house thing, and then the Dragonborn.
Okay, that's what it's called, Dragonborn.
And you takes place on Salsa. Yeah, it was just called Dragonborn.
Oh, okay.
The Dragonborn.
I mean, this is awesome. And as for the exclusivity of these future projects, to be real, I would keep them exclusive. Look, put it like this, because Sony is getting, like, Square Enix, they're getting Final Fantasy anyway. Not all Square Enix products. Just seem like Final Fantasy is like being exclusive to them. Some of the Japanese companies are being exclusive to them. Now, I don't know if they're paying them or they're just choosing it, but either way, they are. It's like, at this point, like, I don't like things being exclusive, but at some point, if either side, this goes for Xbox too, you're going to have to.
Yeah.
At some point, to make it so that people come to your platform. Because then what's the point?
I will say the nice thing about, like, Microsoft, at least, is you have other places you can play these games. You can play them on the PC, and now with Xbox Cloud streaming, you can play them on your phone. You can play them on some of these TVs eventually.
Because I had to use your account for my phone to do the Xbox Cloud streaming, because you can't share, but doing cloud streaming,
which kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does. But I tried it out on my phone, and it does work. It worked pretty good. I played a little bit of Reach. I think I gave you maybe like an achievement. Oh no, actually, I think I gave you an achievement of something. I don't know, because it popped up. But I play a little bit of Reach. I play a little of Death. What's it called? Not Dead Cells.
Oh, okay.
I play a little bit of Dead Cells, and what else did I play? I thought I played another game. I forget. But playing them on my phone, it was a lot better than my first experience with it. My first probably
absolutely.
2 or 3 experiences with it. It was a little bit of lag during both of them, both the games I played, but it wasn't much. It wasn't as much as before. I had input lag. You remember last time?
Yeah.
Where I was pressing the button and it wouldn't do it. I didn't notice it. Anyway.
Were you using a controller hooked up to it, I assume?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, because some games you can use just the touchscreen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Dead Cells you could use the touchscreen.
Ones,
I think Halo 2 maybe. But I forgot the other game. Injustice 2 because I want to play a fighting game, and that played well.
Nice.
So yeah, that's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. But that's the thing, though, right? Like, you can't do that with Sony games, so I can't... If they're locking in, like, Spider-Man, I can't play Spider-Man somewhere else, but I can play Elder Scrolls 6 somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
I can stream it through my phone. And now there's... I don't know, I just saw it during break that there's some speculation that Xbox is teasing that there's going to be another game added to Game Pass, and people are speculating based on the hints that it might be Outriders. So that's pretty big if Outriders is going to basically release on Game Pass. That's a game that I think would benefit from that, because we've talked about it in the past. Like, who's really talking about this game? Who's really going to play this game? But if it's just there available in Game Pass, a ton more people are going to give it a try.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be very cool. All right, Dominic, speaking of contractual obligations, even though I don't know that that's what necessarily this is, but Doom 3, some people may call it Microsoft's Doom 3, VFR, the VR thing, is coming to PlayStation VR finally. It had been out on PC forever now. That's coming out March 29th. So there you go, Dominic. Microsoft's still supporting these consoles out there.
Yeah, they're being nice until
give them the table
to the
scraps.
big one. Until they get to Elder Scrolls 6 or something, they'll be like,
"Yep,
exclusive, bitches." That's stuff.
Yep.
Oh no, but I want them to do the original Doom in VR. I want to be in a pixelated world virtually.
I feel like that's got to be a thing that somebody's modded already like that. Yes. I don't know if that would be cool or just make me feel really sick.
Oh man, just seeing those fireballs come, like exactly. So all the redness.
And then you just sidestep it, and you see like the side view of the sprite, which is nothingness. Yeah, that's got to be a thing. I have to look that up. All right, Dominic. So allegedly there was going to be an Elder Scrolls like announcement stream kind of thing later this month. And at some point, what was it, this past week or so, I just remember seeing it the other day. Oh, excuse me. I just remember seeing it the other day that there was a video for Elden Ring that's leaked out. Looks like what I guess I would expect Elden Ring to look like. Kind of Bloodborne-y, kind of Dark Souls-y, kind of Sekiro-y. But the guy was riding a horse. That was a new thing that I haven't seen them do in one of those games. So that seemed kind of cool. And now there's reporting out there that maybe that's not going to happen. That stream's not going to happen anymore. Possibly as a result of this stuff leaking out. Why? If it's already out there, maybe get out there and get to talking about it on your own terms.
I need to know the excuse, really. Because if that's the real excuse, because it doesn't make any sense, because we seen leaks before. People still go through their announcements.
Yeah.
You know? So what? And like, it wasn't
just
clear.
Pretend like it didn't happen.
And it wasn't clear. So I want to see a clear version of it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, use this to have hype build up off of people being like, oh man, did you see that part where he rode a horse? And then you release the thing in, high definition 4K, 60 to 120 frames per second, whatever you can push out of that thing, and be like, yeah, boom, hotness.
Yeah, that just seems weird. That would be the reason. It's almost it always makes you feel like a kid. It's like, oh, so it leaked? Well, we ain't showing nobody anything. Yeah.
Now I want them to just come out and say that. Like, yeah, you want to take it from us? Well, now you don't get anything.
Yeah. We're not even going to make the game anymore. Yeah.
Yep. George R.R. Martin's going back to writing fucking books.
Yeah. He finished that last book yet?
Fuck no, he didn't. How's he got time to be writing a video game, Dominic?
That's what I'm saying. Damn, man. How many, like...
Whoever his publisher is just needs to be like, look, we need you to pump this book out, man, because we have a contract in place.
I'll just fucking just say, like, man, fuck this dude. Somebody else write this book.
What's Tom Clancy's son doing? Yeah.
All right, what else we got?
All right, Dominic, and some other news. We got some bad news here. V1 Interactive, who is the development team behind Disintegration, which you may remember as the first-person shooter where you jumped into like a robot thing and then hovered over the battlefield and instructed your teammates to do stuff, came out last year, I believe.
So it was last year when I played this? Oh my God.
Yeah, I think it was.
It's like, I remember playing it. I just don't remember when.
June.
Yeah, I just don't remember when. Good God, that game.
Yeah,
man,
they are
totally forgot about
down. It sounds like
man.
they never really got too much success. I saw one thing say that they didn't reach like 600 players on Steam, which to me, I was telling you, that has to be like concurrent players, because if they didn't sell 600 copies on Steam, then good Lord, things are even worse than I thought they would have been for that game.
Yeah. I mean, I totally forgot about it.
Yeah. Yeah, you hate to see studios close, but hopefully everybody can find new jobs and positions somewhere that they'll be happy.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Dominic.
Work on Half-Life 3.
There you go. Now we're talking.
Hired them for Half-Life 3.
Well, I've got some place for them to work. Techland, next week, they're supposed to be providing an update on Dying Light 2, March 17th. Maybe we can get some of these guys to go over there and work on this game so it actually releases at some point.
Or the other one, Dead Island
Masquerade.
2.
Oh, yeah, that one. I'm just writing that one off at this point. Dead Island, man. Yeah, so what do you think this update's going to be? Do you think it's, hey,
Cancel.
We're in a good place now?
Cancel. No. No, I think update. I think it's going to be
canceled.
No, I don't think it's going to be canceled. not from this update. I don't think this update. I don't think. Because they would just say it.
Yeah, you don't announce that you're going to announce that something's going to be canceled. That's a real bad look.
So, I mean, I don't know, but I think the game 2022, though. I don't think it's coming out this year.
Yeah, I would definitely say that 2022 is probably soonest we'll see that. So yeah, I definitely think that would be the soonest we would see that. All right, Dominic, some news that we'll see next week. Also on the following day, Square Enix is going to have a spring showcase where they've announced that there will be a new Life is Strange story that they'll be announcing, as well as things like additional gameplay for Outriders, some new updates on Marvel's Avengers, and the 25th anniversary of Tomb Raider. I believe I've seen some stuff out there speculating towards basically updated PS5 and Xbox Series X versions of those games, the trilogy that just came out recently. So that should be good.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm curious what they'll show at this. So this is all like basically the western side of Square Enix.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll throw a Final Fantasy in there at the end just to keep people happy, but yeah. Oh, and they also said a new Montreal studio game, so we'll see what they got for us. They're the ones that did the Batman game, right? The one that nobody respects, Origins, I believe.
Oh, I thought that was WB Montreal, Warner Brothers.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. Duh. Of course it was. Square Enix Montreal. Let's see what they've done. They are. Oh, they're the Hitman Go, Lara Croft Go, Deus Ex Go people.
Oh yeah, I think we talked about that too.
Yeah.
But the Marvel's Avengers, I'm wondering what the announcement will be. I hope it's about like you actually fight new bad guys, man. I mean, because just fight these robots.
Spider-Man, Dominic, Spider-Man. We're gonna finally find out when he comes out.
And he's fighting robots.
Yep, definitely still fighting robots. Not a Green Goblin to be found. All right, Dominic, we had a new game announcement. I think this was part of the last week stuff that we didn't talk about. Aliens Fireteam. This seemed like a game that you might very much be interested in. Did you see anything about this?
Yeah, you know what? That's right. I totally forgot about this news. Yes, I did see. This is supposed. It looks like a dead. Left 4 Dead kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a
so it's only 3-person co-op
kind of thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I won't keep my eye on this. Like, is this and Back 4 Dead Blood? So, those games I'm definitely keep an eye on because those scratch an itch that I've been wanting to scratch for a while.
Yeah. When I heard about this, I was a little apprehensive about it, but there's like a 25-minute gameplay session of it on IGN, and it actually looks really cool. It looks like a lot of fun.
Oh, I didn't see that. I just saw
like two of the developers and Ryan McCaffrey.
I didn't check that out.
Yeah, looks really neat. And another new game that we saw announced this week was TMNT Shredder's Revenge. This is a throwback beat 'em up arcade style Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game from Tribute Games, who made Mercenary Kings and Flint Hook, and I believe also has people that made the Scott Pilgrim game. Looks pixel arty. You're not even gonna mention
the team that also worked on the
Streets of Rage, right?
Streets of Rage.
Well, I didn't say that because isn't that that's .mu, right? I think that did that.
Yeah.
But I think they're just the publisher, aren't they? Or are they working on it as well?
Well, I just saw .mu and Tribute Games.
Yeah.
That's what I saw.
The experience between those two obviously bodes well for this game, hopefully. It looks great. That video was awesome.
Yeah, it definitely gets that throwback to the old arcade games of the Ninja Turtles, and it looks great. Yeah, I just like that. I like that art style. I like that look. That they go for the straight cartoon look, which to me is fine. But I do like the throwback because that does, man, scratch at that nostalgia. Yeah, this is like the '90s Turtles, like the TV show. So that that is, I really want to get my hands on this one. Like I said, because we can't get Turtles Arcade because of licensing, and we can't even get the one Turtles and Tom because of it either.
Yeah, those are Konami games, right? Is that what it was?
Was it Ubisoft Konami?
Oh, maybe it was. I don't know why Konami is in my head for that.
But because Konami did it. They used to do it. Oh, Konami. They did the arcade.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. It was okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Konami did arcade, and I think Ubisoft did the
re-released. Yeah.
Yeah,
That stuff
it was
got
something
messy.
weird. Yeah, like they did the remake, like a remake of Turtles in Time.
The
And that,
reshelled.
yeah, and
Yeah,
then
that was
got,
Ubisoft.
yeah, it got reshelved too.
Nice, Dominic.
But because I was gonna get it one time, and then it wasn't available.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I played the demo, I said it's not that great, but hey, I'll wait. I'll wait till it gets cheaper. It never got cheaper. It just went away. It probably did got cheaper. I just didn't know, and then it went away. Hell, that was probably when we were still doing Microsoft points. That's all. Yeah, that game came out when it was Microsoft points. Good God. Oh, I'm so glad that's gone.
I've still got some on my account, Dominic. I don't know how to use 0.1 cent or whatever my 200 Microsoft points is equal to. Yeah. So, yeah, that game looks good. They just like that whole video of them doing like the old cartoon intro, but like with updated, drawings and stuff. And also like seeing April O'Neil and what's the rat's name? Master Splinter.
Yeah.
Seeing them doing fighting moves. Like I hope you can play as them also if you want.
Yeah, she wearing her yellow jumpsuit.
Yeah, she is.
Reporters wear.
Yep. As people who are trying not to be noticed while they sneak around dark alleys wear. Yes. God. So fucking 80s, Dominic.
Oh, yeah.
Nice cinched waist.
And like, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just like, I give it. It's a kid's show. That's just crazy shit. But like, I was looking at Gundam Wing. It's an old anime. I mean, it came out, like 95 in Japan, but it came over here in like the early 2000s. And I remember watching it on Cartoon Network, and I liked it. I was like, oh, I actually like this anime, Gundam Wing. I said, man, it's really cool, man. I like it does some things with politics and stuff. But watching it again, like I had just watched a couple of the first episodes to see, like, oh yeah, Gundam Wing is on Hulu. Let me look this up. Mm-hmm. Man, a lot of things don't make sense that I thought made sense when I was younger. Because this woman, like, this guy is trying to kill her because he's one of the Gundam pilots. He's the main character, Hero. And he's supposed to be, like, nobody's supposed to see him. So she saw him. She's like, oh, I gotta kill her because she saw me. But she's just so infatuated with him, like, when he put a gun on her. And then she still, but then like somebody came before he could do anything, and then he ran away. Mm-hmm. But then, and he even then she gave him a letter for her birthday party because he snuck into her school like as a student. And she gave him a letter for his birthday party. I'm thinking like, you just saw this guy. Oh, actually, this is before he put the gun on order. But still, she had saw him crash because she saw him crash on the beach. He tried to kill himself, and then he had beat up these two ambulance people, medics, and took the ambulance. And then she see him in school the next day. She gives him an invitation to her birthday party. I'm thinking like, what the fuck? And then
Stockholm syndrome right there.
He tears it up. And he whispers in her ear, I'm going to kill you. And that's how the episode ends. And then the next episode, she's still just worrying about this dude. Like, she's just, like, worried about, not about just killing him, but, like, trying to get to know him. And then he goes off because he's trying to destroy his Gundam because he thinks he doesn't want Oz, the bad guys, to get it. The Gundams are, if you don't know what Gundams are these big, giant robots. They're kind of like Megazords from Power Rangers. So, so he's going to destroy his Gundam, and then another pilot was there too. Another Gundam pilot was there. They don't know each other. So, he didn't see him. They didn't see each other yet. She went there to follow him. And I'm like, why are you following this dude? And then he sees her, and he pulls a gun on her. about to shoot her. Then the other guy came and shoots him. And because he said, I can easily see that you're the bad guy here. He said, "You okay?" And then he's about to shoot him again. But she got in front of, between him and the other guy and the gun, saying, don't shoot. Why you shoot him? What you shoot him for? It's like, he shot him because he was about to shoot you. What are you talking about here? And then she goes and helps him. And so the guy's confused, which I'm confused too. Like, why is she helping a guy that tried to kill her? Like, she doesn't know him at all.
Right.
And like, I don't know what they're trying. Like, I don't know what they're trying to convey here. They're conveying that she's in love with him, but it doesn't make sense for her to be in love with him. She doesn't even know him.
Yeah.
All she knows is that this guy is a violent person, and he's willing to kill her and hurt people around him. And I looked online to see what other people thought of it. Other people said the same thing I said. They said, "No, I used to like the show when I was younger, and I watched it as an adult. This girl is an idiot. It's like, this woman is an idiot." They say, a lot of stuff don't make sense in this show. I was like, yeah, man, I just saw things in different lenses when you're a kid. Because, I was a teenager then, but, man, this shit, I was like, this some dumbass writing. This don't make any fucking, this girl is retarded. No, I'm sorry, I can't say that word. She has mental disabilities. Because there's no way in hell this should not be the interaction. I was like, who wrote this shit? Man, I was like, there are a lot of shit. Man, a lot of stuff I probably watched young. I need to stop watching things when I need to stop rewatching
Never go back,
shit.
Dominic. Never look back.
Yeah, because I'm going to see like, oh my God, this shit was horrible. Why the fuck was I watching this? Anyway, what we got next? We got any other news?
All right, Dominic. One last thing here. It feels like we do this every week. More speculation about an upgrade to the Nintendo Switch. This time coming from Bloomberg. Wonderful friends, Jason Schreier over there. This time, apparently, we are talking about a 7-inch OLED screen for this thing with a 720p resolution, actually. And, of course, the infamous 4K output to the television. Saying that it'll be starting production in July for probably a kind of fall, winter release. So what do you think this time, Dominic? 720p to me seems a little low of a resolution, even for a screen this quote-unquote small. We have phones nowadays that are routinely 1080p plus, and in some cases 4K, which does seem ridiculous. But, I look at my Switch screen sometimes and I go, this could probably look better,
What is the screen now?
It is 720.
Oh, so it's going to stay at, okay, so
yeah,
it's still
it'd
at
stay 720,
yeah.
but it'd be OLED, so like your contrast would probably be better, your blacks would be blacker kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a little surprising then.
Yeah. Yeah. As far as screen size, the normal Switch is 6.2 inches, and I believe the Lite is like 5.5 inches. So basically you're getting a little bit extra, nothing too big. What I would imagine is they would just shrink down the bezels, which have always been kind of obscene on the Switch. So that would be nice if it's basically the same form factor, unless they could figure out ways to make it more comfortable. But at a certain point, like, you don't want to ruin compatibility with like the Joy-Cons and stuff, right? So you want something that has a similar form factor.
I just want to know, like, what's the power of it though?
Yeah. Are the games we're going to play on there going to be better?
Yeah, and will there be any exclusives to just that system?
Yeah. Yeah, that's really what it's about for me too, is like, by getting one of these things, how much of a difference am I going to see, and are you going to do something crazy like make Zelda exclusive or something like that, right? Like make Breath of the Wild 2 exclusive to that thing. I don't think they have the balls to do that, but also I wouldn't be surprised if that game is relatively hampered,
Yeah.
on the old system. I wouldn't put it past them, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, some of those rumors are coming true from the beginning of the year that we saw. There's still a rumor though. This is still a rumor technically. Yeah. So, but
it's getting more evidence.
I just think that it's happening. This is happening. But I'm not really excited for it, but I am. I'm sort of excited. Like it's like I do want a more powerful Switch, but I'm just more curious, like what this is, like what this is. How is it gonna feel in my hand? Is it gonna feel better than this one? Do I have to buy a grip too for this?
Am I gonna? Yeah, man. I tried playing my Switch the other day without having the grip on there, and I just could not. I was like, where's that fucking thing at? Because I forgot how bad ergonomically that thing is. Just holding it plain. I'm over it, Dominic. I refuse.
So now I understand why some people just couldn't do it in the start. Mm-hmm. Like some people just couldn't do it, while I kind of just made myself play it handheld.
Exactly. Like I actually didn't have a problem with it at the beginning, and now if you make me go back, I'm like, fuck no. I'll never play that thing ever again if you make me use those Joy-Cons.
Yeah. God damn, Nintendo. Why you gotta go cheap with that part? Man, I guess they felt like they had to. Even though I say go cheap, I'm guessing they would have called like $100 then. I guess if they actually made something really good, because they cost so fucking much.
Yeah. I think for them, it's just more about portability. Like it's hard to add the girth that you need to make it more ergonomic while also making it as easy to transport. Like, obviously I can still get a case through the cellars of my grip, but we're talking about it being like 2 inches thicker than it is now. Like this, they advertise as you just being able to throw it in your huge Jinko jeans pocket or something like that,
Yeah. But yeah, this should be interesting. This should be interesting to see what they have in store, what Nintendo has in store for us.
Yeah.
Man,
I sure hope for their sake, if they are planning on production in July, that like all these issues that people are having with semiconductors and whatnot have been ironed out, because otherwise I don't see this thing coming out this year, or you're going to see the same situation you did with the PlayStation and the Xbox, where there just aren't enough for you to ever even actually see one. They exist in this realm where like these privileged people somehow got a hold of one, but in my world, I've never seen a PlayStation 5 in the wild, so I don't know that it actually exists.
Well, my friend, brother, he saw his brothers-in-laws. He has it.
Okay.
Well, he has he doesn't have a PlayStation 5. He has a Series X.
Gotcha. Still, that's something. Yeah, I see him every, it's usually about like once a week or so. I see a whole bunch of sites like, oh, it went up on Best Buy, and it's always like 3 hours ago or something by the time I see it. It's like, yeah, okay. I guess that's how it goes. All right, Dominic, you got anything else before we get into new releases?
No, I'm good.
All right, new releases this week, Dominic. Harvest Moon One World for the Nintendo Switch and PS4. Apparently it is mediocre, according to IGN. Checked out their review. Apparently it adds like adventure and story elements in a way that Harvest Moon hasn't really been there, but apparently the farming simulator stuff is mediocre. So that sucks. Okay.
Yeah, that sucks.
So stick with Stardew Valley.
So wait a minute, One World, is that like, now what's so different about this Harvest Moon?
It's mostly, it sounds like the adventure stuff, like the adventure and the story stuff, because it sounds like there's an actual storyline to it, whereas typically with Harvest Moons there's kind of relationship building and stuff, but it's mostly about the farm simulating. And it sounds like there's like some linearity to it as well that wasn't in that previous series.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. We also have Maquette, which is the PlayStation 5 PlayStation Plus game. And that is also available on the PC and PS4. I've seen some all right stuff about that. That would be cool, but that's something that, like, as part of the PlayStation Plus program, if I got a PlayStation 5, I would absolutely try it out, but I'm not going to go out of my way to, pay for it necessarily, especially if I technically already own it, even though I can't have access to it. Yeah, because it was the PlayStation Plus game.
Oh, yeah, I forgot what the game looked like now.
It's kind of like I don't know how to describe it, honestly. It's I'm
looking at it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why you don't know how to describe it.
Puzzle boxy.
Yeah.
Like, not diorama toy thing, but also at the same time kind of like that. Like, yeah. All right. Also out now is Yakuza Like a Dragon for the PS5, Dominic. So taking away your Xbox Series X exclusives. How dare they?
No, that's all right, man. Yeah, everybody can play this game. It's Yakuza, man.
Yakuza's awesome. It's very good. So hopefully as it, branches out, maybe you get on Game Pass soon. We also got Loop Hero, Dominic. This appears to be the new hotness everybody's talking about. That's out on PC now.
It said it already sold like over 500,000 copies on Steam.
Yeah. It's crazy. It just seems like it came out of nowhere and all of a sudden like everybody's talking about this thing.
Yeah.
I was watching a little bit of video of it. Like, I don't necessarily understand exactly how it works. You've got like cards, but it's also like a turn-based kind of thing.
But I don't know if it's like are you pressing buttons doing this turn based, or it's like the guy's moving by himself and it's like a strategy. I mean, not strategy. It's almost like a builder. Like you get things to build a town. I don't know, man. Now I don't know even. I was looking at that girl for over an hour play that game. But it's like, wow. And she was getting she had these icons. See, I didn't know you get cards. I didn't see cards. But I know you get these icons. She said, like, I guess it's random. It's like, she's like, I got a town now, and it's almost like you could place the town in there.
I guess that's what what I thought were cards. Yeah, the little things at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, it's almost like a sim, like like one of those simulation games, like a Sim City, Sim Town, whatever you want to call it, Sim Dungeon, I guess. I don't know. And you can put things in there to help your hero out, and it's random. And I mean, just like it is also roguelite. It's a roguelite game. I gotta try it out to understand it, or I probably gotta look at the real deep dive of how it works, because I'm curious. I just want to know why are people like this. That's why. Cause I think one person even said in like her stream was like, "I like watching you play it, but I will never touch this game." So I would never touch this. Yeah, but yeah, I gotta try it out. But it's like it's a different type of roguelike game. I want to see. Yeah, I'm gonna test it out.
Very nice.
All right, what else we got?
We also got Sea of Solitude Director's Cut. That's now out on the Nintendo Switch, which I also saw as part of the EA Access stuff. It always seemed like a game that looked interesting, but also not something that I'm going to go out of my way to spend money on. But if it's part of like Game Pass / EA Access, that would be a cool little thing to mess around with. It's a pretty game. It's all favors. Is that on there
what's that game you like? Fire Team or Fire? The guy who in the woods, the guy in the forest fire.
Oh, Firewatch?
Yeah,
no,
Firewatch.
I think it's more third-person action game. I remember it's like kind of cell shady. I remember this girl on a boat, and there's like, I don't know, I think it's like a metaphor for depression or something, because the sea's like trying to swallow her up.
Oh, okay.
don't know. It's been a while since I looked at it.
Wait a minute. So, I mean, that's not... So, it's not a walkie simulator?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I thought there was more to it than that.
Okay.
Also out now is Postal Redux for the PlayStation 4. That's been out on the PC for a while.
Is that the Postal game? The Postal shooter?
Yes,
okay.
Except it's the first one because, like, the second one is the one I always think of, which is the first-person shooter where you can, like, peel and stuff, and Gary Coleman's in it and whatnot. The first one is, like, a top-down...
You can peel with Gary Coleman?
Yeah. I mean...
Oh, my God.
Gary Coleman's there, and I can pee, so, like, you know... You make the rules, Dominic. You can do whatever you want to Gary Coleman. Yeah, but this is like the first game where it's like a top-down shooter, and yeah, still weird trench coat guy. Yeah, so that's out now. You also got 2 Point Hospital Jumbo Edition for the Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. So
what does this got? Like, what's the difference between this and just 2 Point Hospital?
It's got elephantitis in it now.
Oh, okay. It probably does.
That was the add-on that they.
Oh, all right.
It's probably got some stuff, but it's probably just, you know, a fun name for the console versions. Or was that already on?
It's already a console. I played it.
Oh, that's where you played it. I was thinking you were playing it on PC for some reason.
Well, I did after I played the console version.
Gotcha. Let's see. Jumbo Edition. Close all that stuff. 2 more awesome expansions are coming to the console. Not a gigantic release yet. This is by far our best offering. They sure do say a lot of things. There we go. Enormous 4 expansions, 2 huge item packs. That's 27 hospitals, 189 illnesses.
Oh, yeah.
And hundreds of items. Definitely got COVID in there now, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's got to be COVID in there.
Yes, this adds
and Super AIDS. Super AIDS.
Retro items pack, the exhibition items pack, close encounters, so maybe there's like aliens or something. That'd be cool. And off the grid. So maybe...
what does that mean?
I don't know, but there's also a 2 Point Hospital Bigfoot, so you can do surgery on a Yeti, I guess.
Oh, okay.
They got all sorts of shit going on in this game that I did not realize it was that crazy.
Oh, yeah, it gets crazy.
That's cool. All right. Also out now, Dominic, Apex Legends for the Nintendo Switch. I've heard that's not a great place to play that. But if that's all you got a Switch, you can play Apex Legends now. Runs at 30 frames instead of 60. Obviously, there's a visual downgrade. So, yeah. And Crash Bandicoot 4, Dominic, it's about time. It's about time it released on the Nintendo Switch, as well as the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X.
So, is it like a free upgrade?
You know... I don't remember us talking about a free upgrade when we talked about them announcing this. Crash Bandicoot, PlayStation 5, free upgrade now available. So, yes.
Okay.
So, very nice. PlayStation 5 adds 3D audio and DualSense features such as haptic feedback.
Oh man, I'm just seeing news that like Duke could potentially play in the NCAA tournament as a selected at-large team to be a COVID replacement.
Selected at large. So does that mean if another team gets COVID, then they decide who?
Yeah, because there's already one at-large is already gone. That's the Ivory League, because they didn't play this year, so they're already out. And then you have some teams that probably got COVID. Maybe they can't make it. Somebody else gets COVID. So
who took Duke's place then?
Well, Duke wasn't really in.
Oh, okay. They weren't.
They weren't in.
Gotcha.
They're talking about in the big tournament, in the main tournament. So, but Duke can still potentially get in. I don't want them in at all. I want this to be the first year I don't see them. They can play in the NIT tournament.
What is the NIT tournament?
It's just another
Smaller.
tournament they have during the same time. Like some of the teams that didn't make it. All the teams that didn't. Well, not all of them, but there's some teams that didn't make it to the big tournament. They get invited to this tournament. Some people they jokingly call it not in tournament. Not like because they're not in the big tournament, but it stands for the National Invitational Tournament. I think that's what it stands for.
We invited everyone that couldn't make it into the big one.
But that's too many schools. But because Maryland's been there sometimes. They I remember Maryland. I think they got to the championship, but they lost. I don't know if they ever won it. I don't remember.
Truly is March Madness. I didn't realize all this shit went on. So much I don't know, Dominic. All right. So you got anything else for the week?
Nah, I'm good, man.
All right. Thank you
good
guys
and hungry.
as always for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStalworth5. I'm at RegulusMB. The podcast is at SupaPod, SupaPod. SupaPod.com is the website. You can check out all the previous podcasts there, as well as links to all the places you can find us: iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, where we have a video version of this podcast with gameplay underneath of it, usually relevant to whatever we're talking about that week. Until next week, guys. See you later.
All right, see ya.